I played with Mark the other day.
Paddle?
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Pure ass.
What's interesting is Al might not have been the weakest link.
Vala wasn't bad.
So Vala's still the worst? No, Vala plays every day. There's no way. Oh, God. Oh, God.
No, he is going to watch this and be crushed.
He's been working so hard.
I know.
He plays all the time. He's on group chats. He's developing, like, paddle culture stuff. Like... And you have a baby, you take 7 months off, and you wipe the floor with him. He has nerve damage to one of his legs. Was that present at all when he was playing?
It's both.
Both of them? And he's not even here.
I wish he was. Can we call him?
Saw, dude, yo, Mark is talking shit. He said he busted your ass in paddle.
Stop. No, he's full of shit. First of all, I won with everyone I played with.
That's not true. He played with Al and they got bagel too.
No, we lost 6-2 because it was Alex. And
Mark said he came on the pod and he goes, I think Vala has nerve damage in both legs. That's what he said.
I did not say that, Vala.
That's fucked up. And he knew you weren't going to be here, so he knew he could talk shit without you doing your act outs.
Let's set it up. When I'm back on Wednesday, let's set it up.
All right, dude, we'll set it up. All right. We'll love you. Bye.
Bye, Vala.
Damn, you and Vala got like an interesting rivalry. What's that about, you think?
I think...
Shifty is not allowed to have joy today. Shifty, we're being sad and bitter today.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, Shifty's about to have the youngest hip and leg transplant in history, something Vala should have done 2 decades ago. And today is our bitter, sad day.
Yeah.
And then once we process all this bitter and sadness, we move on. But if you find Shifty laughing throughout the episode, we have to stop the pod and acknowledge it.
Yo, but do it after the summertime. Don't do it now.
Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
He's in pain. He's in chronic pain every day.
Deal with that shit. Walk it off for a couple months.
He's been walking it off for a year. He got hit by a car twice, this fucking idiot.
He's an idiot. That is his fault.
The insurance company's denying, defending, deposing him.
The insurance company won't do it.
Brian Thompson again?
Yeah, 100%.
He's about to go at him, bro. I'm telling you.
Shifty, no more joy. Damn. Can we get a cam on Shifty? Can we get a joy cam on Shifty?
He does have a Luigi vibe, doesn't he? Shifty's got super Luigi coded energy.
Shit.
He does kind of look like it. Okay, Shifty, can you tell us why you were giggling when I said that Vala and Mark have a little rivalry? Can you tell us that, please? In the most sad, sardonic way possible.
Mark, you remember when you crushed Vala's sushi in front of him?
Wait, what happened?
We were filming that video for the Toronto promo, and we're all eating out there, and Vala said something smart to you, and you didn't have a slick comeback or anything, so you just took your thumb, and he was eating sushi, and he was all happy, and you mushed his sushi. And Vala went from laughing like, ha ha, to truly serious. So mad. And then Mark
Where did I learn that from?
About it.
Where did I learn that from? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, sometimes you don't need a slick comeback. Sometimes you need to put your palm in somebody's sushi platter, and it works just as good. Okay?
No, Mark.
Yeah.
You become a tyrant. No.
Vala always starts it. I don't like this idea that I'm bullying Vala, okay?
Yo, Vala. Vala. Mark said he mushed your sushi one day. You didn't do shit. Mark said he walked up to your sushi platter and he put his thumb in your spicy tuna roll and mushed it, and you did nothing. You sat there and took it.
No. I've been waiting for him to have a kid so I can push his.
Damn, bro! You didn't have to go full Pakistan on it.
He just gossiped your kid just now.
Damn, bro, why are you going after the kid? Damn, I gotta hang up before this shit gets too serious. Jesus, we were just having fun. This guy went nuclear. You can't, hey, listen, free Kashmir, bro. I get it now, Hindustan. Damn, bro, what the fuck?
He's a wild dude.
He's still upset about that sushi mush.
That sushi.
Yeah.
Love 40, bro. That's me and Vala's whole relationship.
You had him love 40?
Yeah, just in life. You know what I mean? It's just love 40. I'm just a point away from decimating.
Yo, that is so fucked up.
It's just love 40.
That is so Vala's not even here.
Oh, man, that is a bar, though. I am going to use that.
I think it's 40 love, though. You're serving, right?
Yeah. That's a good point.
It's okay.
Damn, why did I have to do that?
I mean, Love 40 doesn't sound, it sounds like he's losing.
Yeah, but it was still fun.
We got it. We got it. But obviously now that everybody listens to the podcast is a paddle aficionado. Might be confused about that. Oh, guys. Okay, so what was gayer last night? Last of Us or the Met Gala? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, can you explain Last of Us?
Yo, can I tell you something about this? So the video game was gay. They had like a lesbian thing in it.
And you had to do the mission gay?
You have to do it.
You gay sex?
Yo, that's really funny. They don't. Shifty, you're laughing and feeling joyful again. I don't like you laughing and feeling joyful
So
up there.
are you upset that the TV show is accurate to the game and they
No,
include
why are
the
you
gay
assuming
shit?
I'm upset?
Why is that the first
why
thing
are
you
you
bring up?
assuming
What
it's
was
a-
more gay? The Met Gala or the show?
But it might be positive. Look how gay the world is.
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at how gay he's sitting. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
look
He's
at
an
me. You
ally.
think I'm going to be upset at gay shit? 40 Love, suck it. 40 Love sounds better. So, no, like, okay, so I had a thought about it while I'm watching The Last of Us because I played the video game. It was obviously very traumatic for me when the little lesbian girl started making out and having sex because I've known Ellie, the character, since she was a teenager. I don't want to watch this girl. It's like a daughter to me, practically. You know, now she's a fully grown lesbian and she's just fingering somebody dirty on horseback for 4 days, no shower. Can't do it. There's a lot of things going on. Also, they didn't need to show the fingering scene. That was a little much. I know I'm becoming an old man.
See?
But like, she's not even a seasoned lesbian. Like, doesn't even unbuckle her belt.
What does she do?
She's like pulling at the jeans, trying to stuff the hand underneath. Her wrist is all caught. It's crazy.
Like a puppet?
Yeah.
Just fucking jam it in.
That's what it is.
No, you can't do that.
Anyway, so I was watching it, and I'm curious what you guys thought of it. Okay, you know how like Hollywood wants to make money. We understand this is the point of Hollywood, right? And then like sometimes there's virtuous people caught up in every industry, and they start like putting justifications on their actions, like we all do, that make them seem a little bit like more benevolent, right? Fair enough. So. But in my experience, Hollywood is very reactive. Like a movie about ice skating does really well, there'll be 5 more ice skating movies, right? Horror movies do well, they go, okay, horror is it. R-rated comedy does well, okay, let's make R-rated comedy. So what I think is happening with like the you call it DEI or, you know, like trans stories or gay stories, whatever it is, like what I think has happened is there was some very brave filmmakers, like Brokeback Mountain. That could have been a huge fucking flop, right? You put this movie out, they're like, hold on, gay cowboys? Like, who's going to go watch this? Yeah. And despite the fact that it could have been a huge flop, the actors in it were brave for doing it. It's not like there's like all this reward for doing a gay scene. At the time, like, you could look at those characters and be like, they're gay now, I don't want to see them in action
You might
movies.
lose your role in Hollywood.
It's courageous.
Okay.
The movie, just as a theory, movie does really well because it's a good movie, but it's also like brave and courageous, right? The Hollywood industry reacts and goes, oh, that makes money. Let's do the gay shit.
Okay.
And then the executives, lower level, start going, we have to share these marginalized stories. We have to do it. And they might actually believe that shit. But at the top, they're just reacting to whatever's successful. Once the top is forcing in stories that they don't actually really care about, they're just doing it to make money, the people see it as forced. If it's an authentic, pure story, it doesn't matter if it's gay or not, or it's DEI or not. Like Jordan Peele shit isn't DEI. We just like it because it's cool.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, right?
Yeah.
Pool. Sorry, Jordan. Yeah, my bad, Jordan. One of them is really good. So Jordan's Peele stories really work because they're like authentic, right? And the crowd reacts to it because they're authentic. It doesn't feel forced. Yeah. When the forced shit happens, we go, this is stupid, and then we find reasons. We justify the blame why it sucks. We're like, oh, this is DI. This is the other. No, it's just inauthentic.
It's late. Yeah.
And it's no longer rebellious. It's no longer shocking. It's no longer different. It just feels like they're cashing in on this idea. Here's the problem. When the tech industry wants to like cure cancer, they do it for money and they're very open about it. They're like, we think we can make money curing cancer. Like this drug might help it or whatever it is. We can use AI to like locate it early and then remove it, whatever. If it can't make money, they're like, all right, we can't deploy cash towards that. Hollywood has already made their bed with, we're doing this because it's important to share marginalized stories. Once those stories stop making money, the execs at the top are like, damn, we already told everybody we're doing this because it's beneficial to the world. Yeah. When in reality, we're just doing it to make money. So now we can't exactly pivot off of it too fast because then it's going to expose the lie that we were doing this for some benevolent reason in the first place.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Bezos has a quote where it went viral on Twitter recently, where he was like, in order to get outsized gains, you have to bat against conventional wisdom.
Yes.
So, like, if you go against the grain, you're going to strike out 9 times, but if you hit it, you have potentially 1,000x reward. And so I think that happens in the film industry, where going against conventional wisdom, let's make a gay cowboy movie, it goes crazy, and then, of course, everyone chases. I think that happens in every industry.
To bring that up now, though, this is the game. They're being accurate to the game.
I'm actually saying the game is not a good example.
Okay.
But it just gave me like an idea about the industry in general.
Okay, but you're not saying that this episode of Last of Us felt forced. 'Cause
No.
It felt forced.
When I first played the game, I'm sure we can look back at it, and I probably have a completely different opinion than I have right now because it's me. Yeah, it's Hippocrates. Yeah, but like when I played the game, I was like, is this forced? Are they trying to be progressive? Has it always been a kind of progressive pushing show? Like, was the video game industry very scrutinized? Like, what was happening at the time when it came out, Shifty? Do you remember?
Like the reaction of it?
Yeah.
I mean, it hadn't really happened to have like the character, like a main woman character, be gay like that in a video game.
Because I remember kind of like around this time, remember there was this big thing in video games where they were super sexist, and this was like tangentially related to Me Too, and like they were over sexualized, etc.
Yeah.
So it was the complete opposite.
But also the dudes.
So it was rebellious, you could make.
The dudes were gay before that, though, right?
Who?
In Last of Us.
Oh, they had the gay dudes, but in Last of Us, it wasn't that big a deal.
Right, it was like kind of subtle.
It was barely even mentioned. And then the episode they made out of it was fucking incredible.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that was also transformed. They just made a dope episode. And we all liked it, and it felt authentic. It didn't feel forced. So here's the unfortunate thing. You do something that's no longer rebellious, it becomes the norm, and it feels inauthentic. And then there are people that are creating authentic stories that are like that. But unfortunately, because everything around it feels so inauthentic, it gets jumbled into it.
Yeah.
So while this was a rebellious story to tell in video games, the 5 years ago or 7 years ago, whenever they started writing it, now because of like the trend around forced diversity, it can get looped in it. Into that, which is like, it's unfair to that because it's authentic to the game.
Yeah.
I think it happens, like you mentioned the medical industry. I think they also sometimes couch stuff in like flowery language to make it seem like...
Like what? Like, for example?
Like, oh, like our mission is, someone in my family had cancer, and so we're doing cancer research, da-da-da.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it might be that also. Again, it's hard to like judge people's internal intentions, but there's also the financial component, obviously.
Yes.
So I think every industry, like, their motivation is ultimately financial, but they will kind of frame stuff and like, oh, our brand statement is, make people fit or make people smarter. But it's like, okay, it's that plus money.
I wonder if they were honest about it from the jump, like they are about different genres of film. Like if R-rated comedies are popping and then a bunch of other R-rated comedies come out, it's like they're like, yeah, this is really successful right now, so we're trying to do that. And then when they pivot away from it, we're not upset. Because they're not going, it is important for us to promote comedy at an R-rated level, and dirty words are good, and all these other
but it would
virtuous
really
things.
undercut whatever thing they're putting out if they're like, oh, we're doing this. We're telling you in advance, we're only doing this because it's working.
You're right. They have to give us a little bit of a lie.
I also don't think that these studios are like ideologically like consolidated.
Well, there's one ideology.
I think they're you bringing in different people. So like you'll have these like the executives and the finance people and the number people that are obviously, okay, we want to make money, make sure it's profitable. But then they're like, okay, let's bring in some creatives that are living in a car, that are just making these beautiful movies, and they probably don't give a shit. And then they're amalgamating this group of people that all have different strengths. Yeah. So I think that, obviously stratifying it, you have people that just care about the money, but then you have people that are like, no, I care about only the mission, and then they butt heads, and then hopefully they make a good product.
Yeah. Or you start like finding people that can execute the types of stories that you think are profitable.
Yeah,
so
that's what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're specifically choosing them.
Yeah, exactly. But then those people
people are authentic about the way that they
exactly.
create.
They're not I guess, lying when they're out there being like, no, we need to make this story because this is important to me in my life. Yeah. They were just picked because that is what their mission is.
Right. Yeah.
And then the studio brings them in and says, okay, let's make a film.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an interesting way that once a trend starts, you see everything that's created through that lens. Like we talked about it a lot, even with like the Disney shit back in the day. Like none of us thought about diversity, and Disney was wildly diverse back in the day. Like Aladdin, the first thing that we're watching is there's no white people, and none of us were like, where are the white people? I thought they were white.
Yeah,
Right? Like someone had to tell him. Akash was like, I really related to Aladdin because it was the first brown person. I was like, who was brown in Aladdin? I was like, Aladdin was like me, wasn't it? The genie? Like I had no clue who was brown in that movie.
Yeah. But
Mulan didn't feel like, I know it was Asian, but it didn't feel like, oh, we need to give you an Asian story so that the Chinese market will buy it and we can make billions of dollars.
Kids are also so
I watch
unaware.
anime. Are the characters white, or is that what Asians think they look like?
Yo, the eyes are too big
Can we pull it
to
up?
be like part
pull it
of.
Like, which one
You're
is it?
making a good point because the eyes are cartoonishly big, which is not what they're known for.
And so why would all their characters not represent them?
Look at those eyes. It feels like they're making fun of white people. Doesn't it?
Yeah, these round-eyed motherfuckers.
Right? And then maybe they think we have superpowers because of the nukes or something.
Oh, that's possible. Hold on, let's
But
click on one of
it
these.
is odd that a lot of their fucking characters in animes are fucking
Well,
white
there is that colorism shit, right? In
Yeah.
Asian culture, but which I don't even
but
think.
you can be the fairer skinned Asians.
But you think that they look white even outside of?
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, in Street Fighter, was Ryu white to you?
Yeah.
Right.
And his brother was white.
Ken is obviously white,
Yeah.
but was Ryu white?
In my head, yes, but I think his origin story was he was half white, half
Which one's
Asian.
Ryu?
The main one.
The guy.
Oh, that guy?
Jesus
No.
Christ, what the fuck was your child?
No, son, they
Street
missed
Fighter?
it. Ours, you have to understand, Street Fighter for us.
the fuck?
I was playing Mortal Kombat. I was playing Mortal Kombat.
So that's the thing. Like,
All right.
and I'm surprised even you weren't more Mortal Kombat.
No, I had cousins. Like,
Oh, so you were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Street Fighter was like the OG game. Mortal Kombat introduced blood.
Yeah.
And blood was like so badass. That was like the rebellious thing.
But
It's
you have to
like,
have the code.
yeah.
And like low key, you know who did that too? The NHL video game. You could make their head bleed.
Oh, really? Like if you drop mitts, you can fight?
Yeah, you fought and then you could make some. There was that scene in Swingers, like make him bleed, make his head bleed. What's wrong with us? Even as kids, we're like, I want to play the game where you get to murder the person in the goriest way possible.
Do you remember NFL Blitz?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You could break legs and shit. It was like CTE
Oh, didn't they do the
simulator.
X-ray thing where like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
would
If you
show
got a
the
big enough
replay?
hit, it would slow down, show an X-ray, and the leg would fucking snap.
Yeah, what's wrong with us?
Oh, you remember that TV show Scarred?
Oh, God, I
couldn't watch
never
that.
watch
No, I couldn't watch that.
The whole show was just people breaking their bones.
No, it was
Fuck
bad.
that show.
Yeah, no,
fully.
I
It's just like, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Scarred. And then a guy would like hit a 10-step like rail grind and then snap his leg, bone sticks out.
You know what it
I
was?
hated
It
that.
was the closest thing to a TikTok scroll.
Yeah.
oh.
Like that was a TikTok scroll for that time.
Yeah.
Where it was like 30-second video, something horrible happens. Next one. 30-second video, something horrible happens. That's what the America's Funniest Home Videos is too, when you think about
That's
it.
TikTok. 100%.
Is that what the soup was for women?
Dark, whatever his name is.
The soup, yeah.
Sorta.
It was like reality show, or it was, I think, talk show back in the day.
Yeah, and he would just sort of go over the news like quickly.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There was just more, like, he would react to it a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
more, but yeah. It is funny. We're watching the same content we did back in the day.
Yeah. It never changes.
Never.
There's a gay character in Mortal Kombat, I think. Can you pull up Valdo? I think that was his name. Did you ever play Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, but I don't remember this Valdo.
Bro, there was one. He was like a BDSM guy.
I've been homophobic for quite a
that way.
Bro, I swear to God,
Make him bleed that way.
Bro, me and my dad used to play this, and I would pick him. My dad would be like, "Why'd you pick him?"
That's crazy. I don't even remember this guy.
I
That's
never
how much
saw
is
that.
blocked out.
I remember being
Nah, that's
embarrassed because
crazy.
I picked him, and my dad was like, "Why?" And I was like,
would pick him.
I don't know. I thought his hands are cool. He's got good attack."
Valdo.
My-
No.
my
It was
dad-
Scorpion, Rapier.
Yeah.
There was, what was the other guy? Fuck, it was the
Oh,
other guy.
Siegfried was one of them. With the,
No.
What? What?
No.
With the giant sword.
Both trying to catch each other.
Bro, some dude crushed me in the meeting group.
I still kind of want to know what that one is. I'm not going to ask.
I'll
I'm
tell
going
you
to let the
later.
comments tell it.
No, some guy was like, "Bro, on the pod, y'all guys talk about Putin." I was like, "What, Putin?"
Yeah, that was
Killed
good.
me.
Oh, come
Son,
on.
I got Charlemagne with the Justin Thoreau one. Because that's a
great
real
one.
guy.
That's a great one.
Legendary.
Yeah. Wait, who's this? Oh, these are all the guys.
I don't even think you play Mortal Kombat.
What do you mean?
just asked who's this?
Oh, no.
he
Soul
played
Calibur.
like-
I was playing Soul Calibur, too.
No, Mark,
I was playing
stop
Soul
it.
Calibur.
You
I've been on
played-
fighting games more than y'all, is what I'm saying.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have, dude.
You did like pillow fights until you were 19. Your fucking homeschool ass. I don't want to listen to talk about video games. Trying to talk about lesbians getting after The Last of Us and not taking off the belt before you finger a girl. What kind of insane thing is that?
Really? That's what you're
Son,
saying?
how do you, son.
Really?
A parallel finger.
Go, do it.
Okay, literally, this is exactly. She goes from on top of him. I'm gonna do it lefty. She could just take off the belt, right? Hey, this is guys, this is workplace harassment. Listen, I'm trying to teach Allie how to finger a bad bitch. Okay, you dress just like Dina. You got the same outfit on. You dress for the apocalypse.
We need a pillow fight immediately, bro.
A man just took your belt off
She goes like
really
this.
quickly, and you ain't even budged, too. You was gonna let
You
him go.
saw me do that one-handed, right?
I know that was.
Yeah.
Come on,
But if I move,
Bronze
it's gay. If I move, it's gay. That means I'm scared. You know what I mean?
Let me pull your
Yeah,
underwear
you
to the
should
side,
be.
son. Let your fucking meat fall out. Do you think gay dudes do that? Is grab the boxers from here and scoop up and just let the meat fall out?
Oh, that'd be sick. That's kind of smart.
How? What do you think? Why did we switch to the blue chew lights?
No, those are rainbow lights.
Oh, got it.
Also, guys, tour date June 19th and through 21st. I'm going to be in Salt Lake City at Wise Guys. All those dates and plenty more at akashsing.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Hold on a second. Don't skip forward, guys, because it's the world's fastest ad read. My name's Mark. I'm coming to America. We got Raleigh, North Carolina, Poughkeepsie, Portland, Fort Worth, Austin, Stanford, Philly, Levittown, Chandler, and San Diego. More dates to come. You can get it at my website, markgagnonlive.com.
Anyway, Last of Us, best show on fucking TV. It's incredible. Yo, HBO on a run right now. They just announced Squid Game's coming back June 27th.
HBO?
HBO, that's Netflix.
Yeah, whatever. It's all the same. Man.
Yo, HBO's on a run, dude. Let's go.
They put out this movie, Sinners, the other day.
That shit was Low crack. key.
Schulz thinks the TV is HBO.
Yeah. Honestly, if it's scripted, it's HBO. If it's scripted, it's HBO.
He was like, I was watching a Knicks game on HBO last night. What?
It's crazy.
Did you see the story arc of that?
It was
shit?
insane. It was insane.
That was an epic fail right there, man. God damn, did I get that one wrong? And I really wanted to give credit to HBO. I was like, they're back.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing nothing besides lesbian finger scenes for no
Yeah,
reason in the
that's it.
middle of a Last of Us episode.
So if it was a dude and she was given a handy,
Son, stop. She just announced she's pregnant, right? She goes, I'm pregnant. They start fucking, and she's immediately trying to abort that fucking thing. Nobody, look at that. Look at, she got the rhinestone belt on.
Oh.
Don't she look too young? They're too young looking.
yo, come on.
I
Why
wanna
you
see
gotta
this.
just say stuff?
Oh, wait, my bad. She did unbuckle it. My bad.
Look at you. Look
My
at
bad.
you.
Hey, my bad. Oh, she got her arching and everything. You barely got 2 digits in there. Get out of here, bro. Get the fuck
That's
out
all
of
you
here.
need to do. Just
Come
a
on, it's the
little rub.
apocalypse. You fighting through bush. There's no way.
No, she got a UTI for
That's
sure.
that's just some,
100.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
you know, that's just morning of Burning Man right there.
Look at this right here.
Fucking
Low
dirty
key.
shit.
Whoa.
Look at this. Look at this. And then they go for it. Wait a minute. Immediately, she's like, finger me. I don't think she unbuckles that belt. I don't see any unbuckling.
Nah, you
No,
just-
the belt's not unbuckled.
You just hate it because she did it
Watch
so
the belt.
smooth. You ain't catch
The
it.
belt has not been
Oh,
unbuckled.
she
she
hits
took
it
it
herself.
off. Look at that.
She hits
What
herself.
fucking show are you watching?
Yeah, bro.
And I gotta leave, bro.
He was on
I gotta
TikTok.
leave. I'm off. Hey, I'm off.
Yo,
Hey,
son.
I'm washed. I just want to let you know I'm washed. I thought I knew something that I don't.
Your whole fucking anger was because he ain't unbuckled the belt.
In the video game, she undoes the belt. And in this one, I hit double X for belt. I was spamming X to get the belt off. And
I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm wrong.
Nah, the cuddle at the end was crazy though. Like, you ain't even get your shit off.
Oh, this is the video game version? Oh, hell yeah.
Wait, yeah, look at the most watched. Go to most watched.
Yeah, that big lump.
Yup.
Oh,
Look
that's-
at this.
Oh, they made the Spanish chick ugly in the game.
She had gay energy the whole time, though. It's like not shocking that she's gay.
Which one, Ellie or
Yeah.
Dina?
I mean, I don't know about Dina. I haven't seen the show. I mean,
Man, shut up. Tell us about Burkina Faso or some shit, man. Fucking,
They need a video game about that. That shit is crazy.
I'm gonna tell Dave Portnoy to send you to Auschwitz too, bro.
Wait, what?
Yo, Dave Portnoy's sending
go
people
now,
to Auschwitz.
go now. Okay, yeah,
He's sending people to Auschwitz, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Of all times to go, now is probably the better time.
Do you get to? Can you extend? Like, could you stay and then like just chill in Warsaw for a minute
Get a B&B.
and smoke poles?
Yeah, that could be sick.
I mean, because apparently Warsaw is like a good fun time.
Oh yeah. I saw a girl on some TikTok. She's from Poland. They were
I've
like,
seen the same one. I've seen the same one. I've seen the exact same one. We're on the same algorithm.
The hottest
I'm
one
a
you've
6
ever
in
seen?
Poland, and she's like, I'm a 10 in the United States. I'm a 6 in Poland. I was like, you're what in Poland?
Wait, because you gotta pull this up.
Yeah.
Is she more 6 or more 10? Which one?
No, she's a legit 10 that calls herself a 6 in Poland. You know all about this. Stop acting like you.
Stop it. Can I front a little bit? I'm trying to act.
what is Poland?
A little bit? God damn.
There's white women in Poland?
You shit, bro. Yo,
You're dumber than a Polack.
I was a 6 in America and a 10 in Poland.
IQ.
That was mean. I know that was mean. This guy's a mean guy.
I know,
He just
mean.
called you dumb. You just
But
called
yeah,
out dumb.
Yeah, because he's pretending he doesn't. What?
No, you just called him. We were just talking about looks, like in him being a handsome black man in Poland, which they don't have. They're very proud of Noah. Whoa.
Because no black people came out
I'm
to the
pissed
show
about
this
you
weekend.
doing
That's
this
right.
right. Don't do
He's a
it.
little bitter.
Nah.
You went to Atlanta.
I called you handsome, and he went, what?
No, I'm reacting because we're not doing this right now. Okay? I was making fun of him for being
You
dumb.
made fun of Vala for having no legs.
Yeah, I know.
You made fun of Al for not being good looking.
I'm the nicest guy, and everyone's trying to make me a bully. I'm
No,
not gonna
you're a
stand
piece
for
of
it.
shit.
Whenever you have to say the
What
nicest
happened
guy,
this
it means you
weekend,
are a
bro?
piece
What
of shit.
happened, bro?
Yeah, he's bitter. Something happened.
Something happened. Where was the show?
Charleston and Atlanta.
Charleston,
Yeah.
South Carolina,
Charleston, South Carolina on
and then
Thursday.
Atlanta.
And then
Isn't that
Atlanta.
where Vala's from?
Nope.
No,
Where's he from?
Pakistan.
Pakistan.
But I finished from Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, go.
But it was great.
So what happened?
Shows were wonderful. No issues at
What
all.
black guy hurt you?
Did a black guy hurt you?
Yeah. You
no.
got heckled or something?
No, they were wonderful. It was technically in Alpharetta, which is not Atlanta, apparently.
Yeah.
I told many people Atlanta, and it was just I lied.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, it's close. And it's all, that's Atlanta is like, how big is Atlanta?
No.
Extremely
You could
big.
go a little outside of Atlanta, and it's a way different town.
No, of course. I'm just saying, like, you would say that you're in greater Atlanta.
No, of course.
It's freezing. What is the goal? Have we spent too little on air conditioning this month? Is that the goal? Do we have a quota that we have to
got a
spend?
quota, and I'm
It's
trying to meet it.
Because if we don't spend it, we
Miles
don't get
has
it back.
a full hoodie on. Imagine what we're feeling like. We're getting blasted by the AC.
He does this sometimes. We went to a nice dinner, had steaks the other night. He just had a hoodie
My
on the whole
head
time.
hurts, and for some reason, wearing a hood makes it feel better. I
This
don't
is
know why.
a diagnosis.
Because you got that vaccine for me.
Yeah.
He's so bad.
Shifty.
Oh man. Oh, is this the?
Yeah, let's
Yes.
look at what a 6 in Poland looks like.
In Poland, solid 6, but in America, solid 10.
Okay. Do you think other people would agree?
I hope.
I mean, pause. If that's a 6 in Poland,
Yeah.
they're doing everything right with the immigration policies. You don't want to water that down.
Yeah.
Like, you got a really good thing going, and you don't want to water that down. Is that... What is that? What I just said?
It's on the line.
Sounds a little xenophobic.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit.
Can you be xenophobic for the sake of the attractiveness of your people? Because you can't guarantee every immigrant coming in is going to be a 10 out of 10.
Unless you vet them.
If you vet them based on looks,
Yeah.
then you go, okay, this is great.
And so there's an app where everyone can just vet, and if you're above a 7.2, then you get to come in.
But if you mix that with a little melanin,
If it's the right melanin.
that's
If it's the right melanin. You got a bunch of SEALs coming in. No disrespect, obviously. SEAL, incredibly talented singer. You know what I mean?
speaking of silly. He performed at fucking where were we at? Live. I'm like, damn.
Kiss
Still
from a
that
Rose?
one song.
That
bro.
shit bangs,
It
though.
is. But
All-time
God
banger.
damn, how can you
Shut
how
it down,
can
though,
you-
right?
Yeah.
You really need one. You need one hit. He looked like he got kissed by the thorns. I can't be the first person that said that joke. I cannot be the first person. He kissed the stem of that rose a few times before he made it up to the petals.
So he was there. It was his daughter's 21st birthday, and they show his daughter. It's like, I don't think that's his daughter.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I mean, she's her complexion. I'm like, Seal is way too dark to come out with that.
I think that you're making a really gross allegation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Yeah.
Let me check.
I'm standing on that. Okay. Nah, Seal, you need 18 years back in that body. Fuck that shit. Yo, they got you, kid. That shit is not him.
That's what Heidi Klum.
Yo, shout out Seal. Obviously, Seal, we're joking.
We're joking, of course.
He had an acid attack or something, right? Like there was
He had lupus.
What do you have?
It lupus.
Oh, come on.
It's a medical issue.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
An acid attack.
Joey put in the notes.
Two-Face real
That's fucking
Joey
Harvey
put
Dent.
in the notes. He put in the notes.
Jesus.
It was not my fault. It was Joey's
But
fault.
look at that. His
Joey
daughter.
put in the notes. What?
That's his daughter.
All right, we got to look at it.
All right, there we go. That shit don't make sense.
No, we got to look into it.
Her
Because
face ain't even scarred.
Seal has discoid lupus, a form of lupus that mainly affects the skin, causing coin-shaped lesions and scarring. Don't even do it, Mark. Don't even do it. While not as severe as systemic lupus, which can affect organs, discoid lupus can still have a significant impact on a person's life. Seals openly discusses, I swear
You
I
need
thought
to
he
apologize to him. Right?
I'm sorry. I thought the story was he was a homeless guy and he was burned with acid. Was he homeless? Did I make that part up too?
Yo,
I think he was a
not
struggling
all
artist.
black people are poor, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, he was homeless. He
Jesus
was homeless.
Christ. You thinking this is Medea or something?
Was he homeless?
Periods
Was he
of homelessness.
fucking homeless?
Yes.
Okay, the
Periods of
singer Seal,
homelessness.
born Seal Christopher
Sandra
Smith.
Bullock adopted him.
Yo, if you was wrong on this one too, you would have to leave.
Okay, he experienced homelessness during his youth. At
Yes.
15, he ran away and spent time couch surfing with friends or staying in homeless hostels. Okay?
Yes.
Where he was later attacked with acid. That's not what it says. It is AI over you. Attacked. He chose to live on the streets, letting his acid heal on his own.
Hold on. Look at the bottom, though. It says, you can watch this video and learn more about a Navy SEAL who joined the French Foreign Legion. What does that have to do with the SEAL?
Also, Al might be right.
Okay, so
I might be right.
Seal adopted one of Heidi Klum's daughters.
Come
So,
on!
Depending on the one you were seeing
Come
on the screen.
on. When
And
racism works out. So, come on, man.
Now they do. I thought he was going to get a round of applause.
I know.
Bro, he hit that shit like he was a conductor of an orchestra.
Come on, man. We
Like
out here.
Ronaldo.
See, what a great guy.
No, I
have-
think
they
I
have
actually feel
children
guilty
together.
about what I've said.
You should.
I think
You're
he's a
a
nice
horrible
guy.
person.
He's a good
He's got an
father.
insane life. He like fled his country or some shit.
Now,
I think.
now.
Let's find out.
You're doing.
Now
you're
let's double check.
You're doing Squid Games.
Ask ChatGPT.
You're doing Squid Games. Did he flee his country? If you're mixing up with Francis Ngannou,
Survey
it's going to be
says-
very.
He was born in London.
But where does he live now? In America. Fled his country.
Mark, take the L, Mark.
No, he fled England. man.
Mark, take the
He was
L.
in England.
son.
He left.
Mark, if you don't take the L, we'll never learn.
Well, banger of a performance, man. He killed it.
Shout out to his family.
Yeah, shout out to his family. Beautiful daughter. Beautiful daughter. Happy
Yo, Formula One, greatest live sporting event in existence.
He said this about WWE 2 weeks ago.
Prisoner of the moment.
They call
man.
me a prisoner of the moment. Formula One is the greatest live sporting event in existence.
birthday. No, it's not.
Name a better one.
Everything. You have Formula One wait 2 minutes.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't watch the sport.
Son,
you can't watch the sport.
I could not. No, listen. Look at this. If you want to see peak athleticism, look at this. Look at that tire change. This is in slow mo, by the way. I look at the. Oh yeah. What am I doing?
You're such a dad.
What am
bro.
I doing?
You are such a dad. Like, how does it?
Okay, now go to the next one. This right here is. I'll never live this down. I don't know what the fuck.
Like it looked painful.
Son,
like there was a labor.
I've watched that video 100 times. The guy that I'm talking to has a very thick German accent. When a white guy with a thick German accent extends a hand, I'm assuming fucking handshake or he's, you know. So it's one of those two. I'm not assuming he's going for the dap at all. If you notice, at the last second, he brings his hand up. Obviously, he felt my aura. He was trying to match my aura. He's like, there's no way the guy this cool and this athletic and good at doing things he's never done before could possibly go for a tap up. Watch it one more time. I want you to focus on his hand. Oh!
There is something happening.
You would have missed it
by a mile. By a mile.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Yeah.
By a mile.
But you're like right there.
Son, Al, I've got the glasses on. I'm feeling very excited. There's a lot of fumes.
Yes,
this is like
a lot of
jet fuel we're basically working with there. Now, this is the other angle, which I think shows how quick we put the tire back on and how stupid I look celebrating.
Yes, what?
I don't know what I did. I wish I could justify what I did. I think I was looking for people to like high five, and everybody was like, this is pretty normal. So I was just like, okay, I'll just keep on doing karate.
You never look more Italian. It's the most Italian thing.
Like you celebrated like you won.
I beat the other guy. I beat the other guy who's a professional. The other cars are faster. So basically, Stake, this car, next year Audi takes over and Audi's going to build its own engine, and they hope in 4 years they'll be able to be at the top. Mm-hmm. But right now they buy a Ferrari engine.
Okay.
And who knows what Ferrari gives them? They probably give them some fucking Fugazi shit. And there's no way to check on it. But it is probably a Fugazi from Ferrari. So, of course, if you're getting an engine that they purposely, you know how we give the shitty fighter planes to like the Middle Eastern countries? Yeah. That's what Ferrari's probably doing to us.
So all the teams, like the builds of their cars are secret?
Yeah. It's secret, but then there's like certain standards that you have to uphold, and you can call the other ones out for it. So there's, dude, okay.
Because like, why don't you just copy the best cars?
Well, that's what they try to do, but like the tiniest little wind resistance thing can change everything.
Got it.
So there's a game of like milliseconds. The reason why I said it was the best event that I've ever seen, obviously we had like this unparalleled access. It's like ridiculous what we got to see. Like it's a different experience. I get it. But it brings out this like juvenile part in you that when you hear the sound of the cars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it was. I never thought I had that in me to be like, vroom. I was saying it. And there was video of me, like, as it go by, you'd see my mouth go, vroom. So it brings out this, like, childish nature in you. And you're literally looking at, like, a rocket ship on the ground. That's what it is. Like,
feeling that power pass, it is awesome. Something.
Were you able to go to any, like, good turns where they would do the passing?
Not really. I was just, like, the paddock area.
So that's the one thing I would think that they could work out better with the sport. Because when you watch them drive by you, it is fucking miraculous. Yeah. Especially when it's raining. They're shooting up all this rain, and there's zero visibility. I was asking the driver, I was like, can you see anything? And he was like, no, not really. And I'm like, how are you driving? He goes, we kind of have the tracks memorized. So you're kind of like in like a flow state. So you're reacting. You can see like the lights in the car in front of you go red for braking. So you know it's kind of time to brake. But he's like, visibility is almost zero when it's raining. And them setting each other up to do these passes. And you know, like, there's a guy who just had a kid 3 days ago, Max Verstappen, right? So there's a little part of you going like, oh, he's going to be a little safe today. And you're like, no, he's not. He's like cutting people off. He's like, if you want to pass me, we're both going to crash, or you're not going to pass me.
Wow.
You had a kid 3 days ago.
Do they do any like pageantry shit where like they start the engines all at the same time, or like a flyover?
The whole thing is pageantry. They had a fucking car flyover. I got to do this walk where you like walk, and I'm just in the walk is just all these famous people and that kind of stuff, and everybody is submitting to the excellence of the cars. Nobody's doing the walk like, I'm the thing to see here. Everybody's doing the walk like, oh wow, that's that machine that cost $300 million to make. That's that thing. It's just pure excess. It's like everything Americans should like and nothing Europeans should like. Like, this is popular in Europe.
Oh yeah.
But it shouldn't be. Like, Europeans should revolt. They should be like, all this money spent on this, we should put it towards healthcare and like feeding the homeless and giving them housing. Like, we're talking about $300 to $500 million a car.
Yeah, it should be just Russian shit and American shit.
Exactly.
Just big, yeah,
We're the
Saudi
only
shit.
ones that actually care about it. And for whatever reason, it doesn't, like, we have NASCAR, but NASCAR feels more working class. They're driving like police cars. Right? The cars don't look fancy.
You got fake headlights on them.
Yeah. It's just like, do they really?
Yeah.
Because they're not driving at night. So why do you need headlights?
Yeah, they got painted on headlights.
It's all one car body in NASCAR.
That's so funny.
They all have the same car bodies, just stickers that make them look different.
Stock car.
Stock car.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, I'm no bullshit. And I am a prisoner of the moment. I admit it. It was the coolest thing that I've ever fucking seen live as a sport. I still don't know if the drivers do anything. Like, there's a little part of me that's like, if you put me in the best car, I could probably beat the worst car. Me. You don't think that?
Not at all.
I think the drivers have like psycho.
Yeah, because you have to be willing to go at those speeds.
Look at this.
And you're not going to do that. You'll get to 80 and be like, oh.
Schulz throws
Your wife drives you, bro. What do you think you're going to do there?
He got in an F3 car and then got claustrophobia.
I did. I couldn't breathe. But that's when we were having a lot of trouble getting pregnant. And I was really stressed out by that. But I had to get out. And you know what? It wasn't even an F3.
What was it?
It was like an F4. So before we went on the race, there was it's so funny because, you know, these are big corporations. So everybody's a little bit like careful with their words, you know? So before the main race starts, there was like a woman's F1, right? It's called like F1 special or some shit. I don't know. But they're trying to like get women into driving, which is crazy because it's not like they have to lift anything. Like the car does all the driving. So you think that they could do it, right?
Is it like G forces? Like what is the justification?
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, the G doesn't exist. No. So I asked him and I was like, I go, you know, I'm just trying to like make stupid fucking jokes. And I'm just like, so, you know, I'm sure the women, there's a lot more crashes in the women's circuit. Like, I'm just whatever joking. And the guy goes, there will probably be some good Google searches about that if you'd like to see. And I go, what do you mean by that? And off camera, he's basically like, yeah, they're fucking crashing all the time. They're like, we can't put them in the Formula cars because it costs too much to fix for the amount that they crash.
Wow.
That's so funny. Is it during the race or just parking?
But it was sick. So you didn't like it, Al?
I mean, it was cool. It's not bad. It's just not the best live sporting event. Like
I would
going
say
to
like
a Knicks game during playoffs is 10 times better.
The energy that you feel obviously during a Knicks game is really cool. I will say that Knicks game exists for like 3 hours, and this is like 3 days.
Oh, okay.
And like and then just all the different things that you are seeing, and the amount of people that just kind of like submit themselves to the awe of the experience.
Yeah, the spectacle. Yeah.
And again, it's like nobody is too cool for a fast car.
Yeah.
It just kind of levels the playing fields. Like fucking Timothy Chalamet's there gawking at a car. The same car that Kirk Douglas is gawking at. All these NFL players are there just like, you just can't believe it.
I mean, it must be the most expensive sport.
It has to be.
Right? Like there's nothing even remotely
It's like SpaceX. It's like if SpaceX was for fun.
Yeah.
Like that, every one of these is a rocket ship.
Yeah.
And every single race, something's going to break and they have to rebuild it.
Yeah. I think there's also something about it that like you can't just try it. You know what I mean? Like basketball, you watch a game and then go try basketball. And virtually every sport has that. Whereas F1, like you'll just never
barrier to entry is insanity.
Yeah. Like we were doing go-karting and we were like, that's as far as we're willing to go. I'm not going fast into that.
Yeah.
Like even like in Abu Dhabi, we had the access to do F4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so even if you wanted to, you couldn't do F1.
Yeah.
So I think that there's also like for famous people specifically, there's like an exclusionary aspect.
100%.
Where they're like, yeah, you just get to watch the most expensive thing, money that I don't have, to do a crazy sport that I'll never try.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's impossible.
Yeah, it was just really cool. I want to go to another one.
Who was the coolest person you talked to?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Any interesting people? You're like, oh shit, this person's here?
To me, like the most interesting were like the engineers and the people working on the cars.
Yeah.
The little things that, you know, can make such massive differences. How piecemeal the cars are. Like everything can be removed and a new thing put on within seconds. So your front wing gets fucked up, there's another front wing. Voop, voop, bang. So you have a spaceship that can be completely rebuilt in a matter of seconds.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's just the monocoque that's really like the middle part that stays the same.
You could have the engine and gearbox break down, and within an hour, they have a new engine and gearbox put into a car, everything rewired, and you're racing.
Wow.
So if you fuck it up in the trials or whatever it is, it's just like
Yeah, that's fascinating. That's dope.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And who are these guys? Are they like quants, kind of like socially awkward genius types?
Some of them are maybe, and then some of them seem like they were just kind of like the guys who do like the union shit at the theaters we go to. You know, it's just like a dude who like
Roadie.
Yeah, like roadies, like for musicians, like that same kind of vibe. Like I just love cars, like mechanics. Like what would be the coolest job if you were a mechanic?
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like I could fix cars in New York at a shop, or I could work on a fucking Formula One team and travel the world.
Are any of them like former athletes?
That's what I heard, and I looked at them, and it didn't seem that way. But I heard all of them were like, oh, Formula D1 guys, or what. I was like, not at all. They're all kind of small. All the drivers are really skinny.
Yeah.
Like really skinny, really lean. Some of them are tiny. Some of them maybe my height, but like lean, every single one.
Oh, that's interesting. Apparently with NASCAR, it's that way. It's like all like D2 football players. The guy that got drafted and then came out, and now he's just like pit guy.
Yeah.
Moving, gasoline around.
Yeah.
Which like it's kind of sick if you're a former pro athlete to go fuck around some cars.
And same kind of, I wonder if lifestyle is more similar. It's like you're traveling every single weekend, super high stakes.
In
you're
a
part
crew.
of this crew.
Yeah. How much do they get paid, you think?
I don't know. I was trying to crunch numbers on everything.
Like who gets paid the most?
Driver.
And
no,
it's-
I think it's the principal, like the person who is like the head of the team who has to like hire all the different positions. I actually don't know if the drivers are that respected.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Are they like a jockey?
That might be like a harsh thing to say, but like I think that the leaders of the teams and like the top engineers are the more coveted people than the drivers.
Interesting.
Because like you could take the worst driver and put them in the best car, and they would be competitive.
That's what I wanted. Like horse racing, you know the horse's name. You know what I mean? Like you don't know the jockey, but you know Seabiscuit.
I didn't know one of the guys that was driving a car for our team. I didn't know. I met him, and I didn't know if he was a guy that does the pit stop or if he was driving a car. and I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I didn't know him.
Yeah.
Do you know him now?
Nope. He didn't even finish the race. I was like, you got to finish for me to take a pit.
Oh, man.
What happened? The tire you changed flew off?
It's crazy the amount of access that you get. Like, I'm surprised. Like, before, they just let everybody walk, not everybody, but they let people walk on the grid where all the cars are set up. And it's like, you could sabotage another car.
Right?
I don't know how you would do it, but you could walk up, look at it, unscrew some shit.
Throw some acid on someone's face. Who knows what you could do? Acid attack.
I saw Seal there, actually. That's why I brought him up. Yeah, handsome, great guy, sweet. Sweet guy. I can't believe I said that joke about the thorns. That was so rude. I think Al sets a really disgusting tone. on this.
Yeah, he really
I
does.
definitely didn't.
He's like a bully. I was like a bully. He brings out a very mean energy.
Yeah, you really do.
You mean
I think
how
we should.
I was right to call out that his daughter looks very different from him?
Oh, because he's white.
She's
Whatever. Anyway, it was great. Shout out to Carbone. Carbone hooked us up. Reunited with my boy, my twin, Ryan Clark, and Jelly. Also, Jelly is fucking incredible. I actually got to see him do like a full show.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, he's incredible. And I mean that in that, like, he understands. You could tell he's done decades of shitty shows.
Yeah.
This is the difference maker. The people who've done decades of shitty shows know how to really like galvanize and rile up a crowd and play a crowd like an instrument. And the people who have just like are a pop star and then they have their hit, without their hit, they don't really have anything.
Yeah, they're learning how to live perform after they're famous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could tell he's done the toughest, hardest fucking shows because I was curious. I was like, what's he gonna do? Like, we're in this like at this Carbone Beach dinner, like there's all these like fancy people there. They might not even know country music that much. Like maybe they don't know some of his hits. I'm like, how is he going to handle this? And within 30 seconds of bringing it up, he's like kind of doing call and response, almost crowd work-esque stuff, really getting people excited. Banger of a song that maybe people know but didn't, but it had so much excitement that they're getting riled up and they're getting into
you
it.
could even tell that he was a bit concerned because like he mentioned that a couple times. He's like, yo, I'm gonna turn this shit into a honky tonk. I didn't realize all you guys like fucking country music the way.
Here, play.
Oh, hell yeah.
Places where the whiskey burn.
Look how much. Pause right there. Pause right there. Go back a little second. Why were you hesitant to like put your whole hand on him? It seemed like you were doing that. That's Jesus Christ.
What is wrong with you? Is that not clear to you guys?
It felt like you wanted to. It felt like you wanted to embrace him, but you were like a little insecure.
Years of trauma.
He was holding on to the camera. I'm a little strong if I grab him. You know, he's delicate.
No, you wanted to cross that arm over his chest and just hold him, but you look at your hand. Look how uncomfortable that hand is.
It looks like not your hand. It looks like someone else.
Tell us what's going through that moment, because you obviously want to be part of this singing, and you want to. Were you not drunk enough to just be yourself?
I didn't know the words. To be honest with you, I did not know the word. If you really look close to me, I'm doing one of those things where you just like.
And how early in his set did he play this?
Now this is maybe like midway.
Yeah.
But no, he just did. I mean, he did rap songs. He did honky tonk. He did old school classic. He covers like it was truly amazing. And the next day he went to go perform in a stadium in Las Vegas with Post Malone.
And then the next day came back to run a 5K in Miami.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I think in Tampa, right?
Some player Florida.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, he's moving. He's moving different. He's moving different.
And shout out to Jelly, lost some weight. Getting
yeah,
healthy out here. Let's go, Jelly.
Looking
Let's
great.
go.
Looking great. I said, yeah.
Jelly's the man.
And how was Ryan?
Ryan was great.
Ever since y'all patched it up, everything's good?
Everything's great. We had a great conversation. It was fire. Just great. All right.
Oh, Jamie?
Oh, yeah. I got to meet the most talented human being on the planet.
Dressed like Street Fighter, man. That shit is fire. He's got...
He looked like he's Raiden, actually, from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, he's got Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Jamie's the fucking man. Anyway, it was cool as hell. Definitely cool. I suggest if you guys have the opportunity, go check out a Formula One and root for Team Steak. And guys, if you're going to bet on Formula One or the NBA playoffs, obviously the Knicks, you already know what time it is. We already knew that was going to happen. We let Boston feel like they were going to have a chance. But if you're going to bet on Formula One or the NBA playoffs, Steak is the leader in global betting in U.S. social casinos. Bet on top sports, political events, and use the promo code FLAGRANT for your welcome bonus. Now let's get back to the show. Do y'all care about the Met Gala?
That's... sort of in a weird way. You see like a crazy outfit, you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I still barely understand what it is.
Me neither.
I barely get what's going on.
What happens inside? It's a dinner, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like Carbone Beach. Sit down, dinner, then everybody gets up, somebody performs.
But this is
it's
a fundraiser.
probably the same shit.
This is a fundraiser.
I think it's one of those fundraisers.
Right, but like that's the thing that I don't get. So like, does it start as a gala?
A lot of these high society events, they make fundraisers as an excuse for like rich and fancy people to celebrate themselves. So I think it's more about celebrating yourself, and then you realize, oh shit, if we keep celebrating ourselves, poor people are gonna fucking shoot us in the back of the head. All right, so let's make it a fundraiser for a cause.
Right.
But I think that's after the fact. I don't think that's.
And then the clothing brand picks a celebrity.
I think
they
so.
make the outfit for them, and I think they donate on their behalf. So
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
celebrity just gets to go and.
Right.
But it's more about like a qualification. Like if you're invited to this event, then you must be like one of the most famous people or whatever it is. So I think it's like very exciting in that regard. And then
I get why people go. I get why brands do it. Like that part all makes sense. I'm so curious about like the fascination. Like the amount that it grips people.
People love fashion.
Yeah.
They love famous people.
Is it
and they
fashion?
love
Fashion, famous people,
and judgment.
Exclusivity. Like,
but you also get to judge. Like
That's a
you
good point.
you get to be like one of those chef shows. You get to say if the food is good or not.
Right.
So I think it like puts us, all of us that are not invited, that are not the famous people, that are not part of like the inside circle. Not only do we get to judge them, we get to make fun of them because a lot of them are dressed like really foolishly.
That's a good point.
So in a lot of ways, like it's, and I'm guilty of this. Like it's easy for us to just sit back. Oh, look at these fucking stupid people. But it's like that's kind of the event's purpose, in my opinion. They're submitting themselves for judgment, and there are these designers that are trying to do like the most provocative, ridiculous things. And on some level, I like that. Like I
love it.
I like it when people try.
Yeah.
Like what's his face bringing the piano on his back is fucking retarded. Yes, but I like that there's an attempt made to do something.
He's also not doing it, right? Like it's the designer being like, "This is what you're gonna wear."
I think you could say no.
You have an idea of what.
How does it work? Like, do the designers be like, "This is what we're thinking"?
Yeah,
and
and then they
collab with them.
They collab with it. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I like this. He got music on his back. Like that shit, just the messaging for that, I think it's dope. I'm surprised how easy he's walking around.
I mean, do you think it's an actual piano?
No, I know it's not. But of course it's not. But he's moving very easily around.
Yeah.
Like that shit's still as wide as he's not bumping nobody. He's not knocking motherfuckers over.
Thought it was real.
No, there's no way. He definitely unstrapped it and started playing after. Like he definitely did that.
Walk yourself out of it, dog.
I thought it was a real piano.
You gotta take the L.
Watching this on HBO last night.
Take the L. You gotta take the L, dude.
This is how
He's walking around with a grand piano. How can he hold such weight walking up those stairs?
I hope there's a video that comes out of him playing that shit. I'm gonna get.
It might be playable, but it's not a full size.
Yeah.
No, if it's playable, then I won.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is. Yes, it is. If it's
The
playable,
point isn't that it's heavy. You're
I
concerned
don't give a
because it's
fuck.
heavy.
And it's wide. It's uncomfortable. He's moving around.
When you see people walking around with like a bunch of balloons, so you're like, how are they doing that? Like,
They're not flying away.
they're staying on the ground. That must take so much strength.
Dude, I wish I could be in your head for a day and just see the world. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't
love
see
it.
much.
No, you would love it. You would just be staring down at you.
Like, how am I holding this thing up, dude? This is such a big penis. How did you know Seal's daughter wasn't real, but the piano, was?
A broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Oh, Mr. Milchick.
Who's this?
The guy from Severance.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Kind of swag.
Listen, yeah.
We have Lisa from White Lotus.
Oh, yeah. This girl is unstoppable.
Have you heard the whole controversy with this outfit?
Tell me right now.
So Rosa Parks is in her vagina. I saw a bunch of people on Twitter getting pissed off.
Wait, what?
So the theme is Black Dandyism. So on the outfit, there's different historical Black civil rights leaders. And one of them...
Are we serious right now?
Google it, bro. I mean, I might have got fucking got, but I'm 99% sure. Did you see this?
No, but I do have a joke, so keep going.
So apparently there's many different civil rights leaders, and Rosa Parks is over her crotch right there.
Oh! But there's many of them.
Yes.
Not just Rosa Parks.
But to my understanding, that was the one that people were mad
Why
about.
would they do her like that?
To who? Rosa?
No, this girl, the hot
Lisa.
Asian chick.
I don't know if they're doing her like that in a negative way.
You know she's gonna get.
What's wrong with the vagina? I think vagina is the most respectable part. I think it's the most respectable part of a woman's body. No, think about it. Like there could be no more respectable part of a woman's body than the vagina. It's in many of our definitions what makes a woman a woman.
Yeah, but put it like not on a sideways one. Like, come on. No, but this is.
Al, what do you
is-
think?
this is ridiculous.
Do you think, with all due respect to Lisa, do you think the lips are dark? Because then maybe
me
they
see.
put her in the color section.
Oh, we're going to hell.
Which would be the most disrespectful thing to do to Rosa Parks.
That's the worst thing to do.
You got to put her in the white section.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fucked up.
That was fun.
But all these people on Twitter are mad about it, being like, you shouldn't have put it there.
Oh, stop being angry.
they're
about
trying.
shit.
They're trying to tell Rosa to leave. Dude.
All right, put it. Let's City Sweeney immediately. Let's just watch it. And Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Personally, I think she ate and left no crumbs. Personally, her body is tea. My honest opinion.
Oh, that was good, bro. That was good. I thought she could have done more.
I hate you, Al.
That is the most interesting critique.
How is everybody's jaw so perfect now? Like, how does everybody have like this immaculate jawline?
I also have that question.
Yeah. But like, what is that?
I would
Is that-
also like to get
is
to the
that
bottom of
fillers?
this.
Is that makeup? Like, what is giving everybody perfect jawlines?
The Zempi, maybe? I don't know.
I think it's.
But even Ozempic, I don't know if it can actually restructure your jaw.
But I think it just like depletes so much of the fat and muscle in your face, it kind of like brings all the
probably
bones
got-
out.
Oh, wow. But the rest of her doesn't look Ozempic.
Yeah, true. She looks
Sure,
milked
it
up.
does not. It's like Halloween.
Here's the thing about the Met Gala.
That's fun.
Once we accept that we're the ones that benefit the most, because we get to make fun of and potentially humiliate the most famous, successful people on the planet.
Yeah.
And that is like by design what the show is about, whether or not they know it. But it's what it is for like the majority of people. It's kind of great for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the theme?
They could just be like,
And they
just
get-
hating because you wasn't
Because you wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like works out for everybody. And I like the designers trying to flex.
Why do white people went so like go better, go harder?
What do you
This
think?
is a regular outfit.
Yeah, but black dandyism is the theme. It's just a little bit of a, gotta be delicate. Can't put Rosa on your pubes and, think everything's gonna be just fine.
Wait, did Kamala go? Whoa. What is she there?
Obama. Half black, half white.
Oh, I didn't know that she went.
That's kind of fire, dude.
Is that her first time? Like, is that her first public appearance since? Who's this?
No, she's done like some speeches, I think.
Is that Lisa?
Jenny, another.
You thought she did an outfit change, bro? Like seriously?
You guys set me up for these things, and you make me look so bad. It's a profile of an absolutely beautiful Asian woman at the Met Gala.
We just seen Lisa though.
Yeah.
I think that's Lisa, and there's nobody that can prove me otherwise.
DNA test.
Yeah, they're like, let's see the panties.
Dude, we already Maury Povich for Schulz versus
Oh,
Asians.
Jesus, guys, stop it.
You are not Lisa.
Yo, let me tell you something. This motherfucker's too handsome.
Oh yeah.
This motherfucker is too goddamn handsome.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Damson, what is his name?
Idris.
Damson Idris. I've got enough of these British Idrises.
Yeah, there's something about Idris that makes you so cute.
All right, hit that turnaround.
Nah, the turn around with the little smirk, like. I'm just saying, if we gonna be real, you started it. You opened it.
I was joking. I don't know about no turnaround with a smirk.
He doesn't turn around with the smirk.
What is
No,
a smirk?
That was the hand on the shoulder.
Yeah, it was.
Nah.
Yo, Al, just embrace it. You're wearing nail polish. You're the most gay, non-gay, gay guy that we know. You can't say he's handsome.
He is.
Why'd you just say like
Yeah, but
Lisa?
now you're talking about charming. Like
He's also that.
I'm gonna choke
I
to
saw
death
that
on this.
shit and I was
This
like-
session's like I almost choked to death on this shit.
I saw this shit. I was like, damn, I gotta get that move down in the mirror somehow. Like that shit was fire.
Can you try it now?
You got your camera. Over
Yeah. Camera's over here, Al. Remember, your camera's over here.
I can't. He's too smooth. Pharrell, he could have went harder. I'm surprised.
But he designed all the shits, right?
Well, he just designed the Louis, right?
Yeah, just Louis.
But I mean, there were mad people in Louis. He did Sabrina Carpenter. He did Doechii. He did a bunch of people.
I think what's her face? Lisa was in Louis Vuitton.
Which one was that? Which outfit was that?
Lisa, Jenny, Rachel, Jessica, whatever fucking Asian girl I saw on the
It's
carpet.
fucking Mambo number 5.
No,
Lisa.
Lisa's man is the heir to Louis Vuitton.
Oh.
Did you guys not know this?
I was aware.
Did you guys not know this? Have you guys not researched Lisa? You're busy learning about Jenny. I'm locked in on Lisa. I know that she is going to be the technically the heir as well once they get married to Louis Vuitton. Did you not know this?
I didn't know she was going to be the heir of Louis.
Not only Louis Vuitton, LVMH.
Whoa, that's a lot of money.
Arnaud's kid is married or fiancéed up with Lisa.
That's sick as hell.
Yeah, lucky him.
Yeah. Good. Are they married?
I don't know. Let's look it up. What are you guys doing right
You're
now?
plotting on something.
I know.
I'm not plotting on
Scaring
anything.
me a lot, dude.
I'm like,
It's scaring me a lot.
Lisa's reportedly in a relationship with Frédéric Arnaud, the son of luxury conglomerate LVMH boss Bernard Arnault, who is worth over $180 billion.
You got to pull up a picture of both of them next to each other.
Wait a minute. It sounds like you're
What do
making
you
a
know?
joke. Yeah.
What do you know that we don't know?
Come on now. Come on, Kenny. this guy is stupid hood on every episode.
Looks like a friar. Right?
What is he doing over there?
He's accentuating his jaw.
I can't do that.
Oh no. That's his last name. Oh no, that's not fair. You're just taking a shitty picture of him. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Nah, that's every picture.
No, he looks better in that one.
Yeah. Damn.
Yo, shout out to him for starting MySpace, man. Listen, Lisa is.
That is crazy.
Nah.
Money really gets you everything, bro.
Nah.
That is.
Nah.
He got the baddest Asian bitch in the world, right?
He looks good. He looks like a young Wayne Gretzky right there. That's the angle he needs.
Exactly.
Stop hating on him with those other angles and that haircut. You need to go, it's a little better. Now we're doing a little better.
So she got twin sisters?
Man, Alex, you're being really insensitive. You're being really insensitive. Mark is littering. You're being insensitive. He's clearly with her girl group called Blackpink, which is another way to describe where Rosa Parks is situated. Yo, how do we have a podcast, man?
I don't know.
It's too many people that listen to this for us to be, not
we need to be
taking things more seriously.
Yeah, we need to be more
As
mature.
Charlemagne says, we're not mature enough to have this conversation, and it is very true.
Yeah.
This is an influential platform, We decide who rules the free world on this platform here.
Oh, that's
a good point.
bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. Too much power.
We owe it to the audience, bro. We got to step it up.
How do we do better at that?
Just try to, influence elections.
Here, have you ever flicked a Zin at somebody's face?
It's gonna use it as nasty.
That is crazy.
That's nasty.
Can I have a fresh sesh though?
Yes, I got you, my boy. I got you, my boy.
Any other funny outfits? Like, what did they put Stevie Wonder in?
Oh no, come on.
I mean, every day's
What's
a
your
Met Gala
favorite?
for him, dude. What am I wearing now?
Are you gonna let him talk about one of your heroes like that, man?
Stevie's lying.
Yeah, he's lying, bro. He's not even blind.
Stevie's lying.
So you think he's been pretending to be blind all this time?
Bro, I was talking to a dude in Atlanta about this. White people and black people conspiracies are so different.
Okay.
Like, white people are like 9/11, the moon. And black people are like, Stevie Wonder's lying.
Son, the black people are getting into the flat earth shit, though. Have you been seeing? I've been seeing clips of Mark Lamont Hill on Joe Budden's podcast.
No.
Have you been seeing him going back and forth?
I didn't.
This shit is hilarious. Because black people are just getting into the conspiracies from about like 5 years ago.
Yep. Okay.
Flat earth being one of them. Have you seen any of this? Have you seen any of
I
it?
haven't seen it, but I'm already disappointed.
Okay, why?
Because, come on. Don't do it.
It depends. If you're having fun, then it's great.
Are they having fun or do they really believe it?
Let's find out.
You never know. It could be content.
Oh, if it's just for content, then it's fine. Because then
wasn't Kyrie a flat earther?
Yeah. Sometimes shut up and dribble is real. What? What? Come on, guys.
I don't know if Kyrie was on flat Earth.
Yeah, I think Kyrie was back in the day. Remember?
I think so.
Yeah,
But he's on everything.
He also said some other wild shit.
He's
but I
an
think-
internet kid. Like whatever's
He's a
popping
prisoner
on
of the moment.
Yeah.
You were right about that.
Yeah. Like some guys over here.
He
Yeah.
apologized in 2018 for his flat Earth comments.
Was he? What's the name of the god in the Nation of Islam that created white people? Have you seen this?
There's a god in the Nation of Islam that created white people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was looking into this
The
this
devil?
Oh, it's disrespectful.
I mean, that's what they-
Yakub, bro. You pull up
Oh,
Yakub.
yeah.
Pull up a picture of Yakub, dude. Oh, this shit is
Yo,
awesome.
you got that up quick as fuck. Bro.
So this is Yakub, all right?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. He's gonna be hosting First Take this morning. If you want to see what he got to say.
That is foul.
That is crazy.
God damn, bro.
The god, like the alien god, even has a receding hairline. That's fucked up. But yeah, apparently he I don't know all the details, but he's like invented white people, I think. Like that's like a battle against black people, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know the deal. Someone should fact check this. I don't want to be disrespectful to the nation.
You better watch out. They don't play.
I know.
They don't play. They gonna curse your wife out while you pass by.
I mean, of all the Islams to piss off, the Nation of, I think, is the least dangerous. You know what I mean?
Nah, they get down.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
got
they
like
don't
a
get
little-
down in the way that we're afraid of.
I mean, some would say they do. They have like the militant motherfuckers.
Yeah,
that-
but they're not gonna just blow up the plane.
Oh, okay.
That's the concern.
Yeah, in the hierarchy, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think the ones the least afraid of are like the Kyries that they're Muslim today and then they're not.
Yeah, he's Native American tomorrow and all that kind of shit.
Also, Coup created white people because he has 2 brains, as you saw in that image. I just looked this up. Created white people with 1/2 of his brain, and then his brain blew up and he died. So just want to let you know that's the...
Yo, my bad.
That's where white people come from.
Yo, pour one out for the dead, dude. Shit. We put him on a t-shirt.
I believe
that's what white people do, bro. We took out your Coup. Got him airbrushed on a tall tee. Let's go.
Oh.
Have you heard that Elmo's black?
No, I thought he was gay.
Oh, what?
No, he's like a New Yorker, they're saying. Like,
wait, what? But some girl at the show is like, no, Elmo's a black man. Like, there's a whole movement about Elmo being a black dude.
Why does the character have to be black? It's a Muppet.
That's what I said.
Is it a Muppet? No, it's a Sesame Street.
He's a Sesame.
He's a Sesame.
But the voice of Elmo is black, dude. That's why they say that.
Oh, Kevin Clash. Hell yeah. But yeah, this is what Black Twitter.
Oh, I thought they were saying he was gay, but maybe that's Ernie.
Bert and Ernie are.
Yeah.
Are they?
100p.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
A weekend in Switzerland, just Bert and Ernie. You're telling me they're not gay? I'm sorry.
Oh, fucking good.
Also, everybody that's wondering where Akash is, we can't tell you. We cannot tell you right now. There's a reason why we didn't bring it up early in the episode, but we cannot tell you where he is, but we hope that he comes home safe. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
We want to make sure that he comes home safe. He's not in Burkina Faso, where there has been a successful military coup that Mark will explain to us right now. He was diligently doing research before this podcast began.
This is wild.
Didn't even say hi to any of us as we walked into the studio.
I was fucking...
You were locked in.
Face deep in my Mac, just getting hyped up, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Because Ibrahim Traore...
Yep.
That guy...
Here, come sit here.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
Come here. Come sit here. Break it down.
No, we back.
Come sit here. Break it down. Come on now. Come on now. All right, guys, let's take a break for a second, okay? I want to talk about one of the healthiest sources of protein on planet Earth. That is the bone broth. Natural, loaded with nutrients. It's got gelatin and amino acids to support digestion, collagen to repair cartilage, and support flexibility, immune health, and much more. And one of the most delicious ways to drink bone broth is with Kettle and Fire. Look at this delicious box of bone broth using real high-quality bones, 100% grass-fed beef bones and organic free-range chicken bones. This is the best tasting bone broth, hands down. Mark tried it. Mark did his bone broth fast. How did it go for you?
It was amazing. I love fasting. I feel so great when I fast. I feel clear. I feel more sharp.
You don't have to believe any of that stuff, but it works out.
Yeah, it does work out.
It does work out.
It does work out. And I did the Kettle on Fire, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
See? Delicious.
My wife makes bone broth, and then she was like, which one's better? And I was like, yours, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's the Kettle and Fire, obviously, because she's not using the real bones. You don't know what your wife's probably using those bones from the bodies exhibit, just Chinese slaves. This right here is beef bones and chicken bones, the real stuff, okay? Don't use that homemade Chinese slave bones broth that Mark is using with him and his family, okay? If you want to add some protein into your favorite dishes, Kettle and Fire is a perfect way to sneak it in. Or if you're fasting, a little bone broth goes a long way to support your extended fast. Obviously, Mark did it. Alex failed. He ate fucking carbonara when we were down in Miami. This guy did not stop eating. The second he saw sugar and dessert, he just devoured a whole platter of it. It was embarrassing.
You're not lying.
You want to join them? Head over to kettleandfire.com/flagrant and use our code flagrant at checkout to get 20% off your first order. Trust me, I'm telling you right now, it is delicious. The best version of it. Cook some rice up with it, to be honest. I mean, get it in all of those meals that I'm sure you yourself are cooking, just like we provide all the meals for our families. Our wives have it very easy. You go to kettleandfire.com/flagrant. The code is flagrant for 20% off. Kettleandfire.com/flagrant. Flagrant for 20% off. Now let's get back to the show. All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Hard dicks. That's what it's about. It's about hard dicks. Okay? Simple as that. Hard dicks. I had to cross my legs just thinking about it. I didn't want something to sprout out and scare you guys in my single shot. You know what I mean? Hard dicks. Blue Chew. Same active ingredient that's inside Viagra, Cialis. This is the chew. The one that we rock with. The one that you're going to stay rock with. And you're going to get your first month free. That's right. Free hard dick for all the women out there and you. Okay? You just got to go to bluechew.com. Okay, pay $5 shipment. Nothing for you to have hard dick. Okay, Flagrant is the promo code. BlueChew.com. Flagrant is the promo code. First month free. All you gotta do is pay for the $5 shipment. You are very welcome. Let's get back to the show.
And we're back. Okay, you ready to talk about Burkina Faso?
Yes.
And just be mature about this. Okay, this is a serious issue and this is affecting a lot of people.
Where is Burkina Faso?
Mr. G, teach us.
Yeah, let's learn. But first of all, where is it?
West Africa. It's near like Mali.
Okay.
And for years, they were colonized by the French.
Okay.
And the French basically colonized them and started taking all the resources.
Yep.
As they do.
As they do.
Only them.
Well, they apparently have their history of colonization is different. So, like the British sometimes would like come in and like nanny state, but the French would just come in and be like, we're taking everything.
Taking it all.
So then they get independence in the 60s, but the French leave, but then prop up a bunch of their backed politicians that then run the country and just kind of siphon off all the resources to the French.
Right.
Also, the U.S. kind of comes in, starts siphoning off resources.
And didn't they leave military there that were able to like just like break up conflicts?
But yeah,
like even though they were free, they was like, nah, we still gonna leave some of our military.
They had a presence, and then the president was, backed by the French. And then they get this guy Sankara back in the day. He gets assassinated, and he was trying to like liberate the country and nationalize the resources.
Right.
And then gets assassinated. And then basically from then until like 2016, they've just been under like kind of like French, colonization, stealing all their shit. Yeah. And then in 2022, this dude comes in and says, nah, fuck that.
What's his name?
Ibrahim Traore or something. And basically just takes back the country and starts nationalizing all the resources. So does a coup, creates a government, and he's now the leader of it. He's 37 years old.
Fire.
And is just running the country.
Was he a military guy?
He was formerly military.
And then, so how did he get the loyalty of the military?
Basically, he was just like, yo, this is fucked up what they're doing. That all these presidents are like Manchurian candidates, siphoning off our resources, leaving our country in squalor. Burkina Faso has like historically the lowest GDP, or like of the lowest GDPs. 40% of the country lives below the poverty line. Everyone's struggling, but they have the fourth most gold of any African country. Just getting crushed. And they're like, what is happening? Why does this keep happening to us? And so then they do a military coup, and then the guy that leads the military coup ends up getting ousted by him. So it's like a coup of a coup.
Oh, shit.
Of another coup. Like there's just like all these different coups. And so he eventually gets appointed by like the coup board. And they're basically like, yeah, Ibrahim's going to run it. And now everyone...
Why did the first guy get kicked out? Do you know?
They were unsure of his loyalty. And then also he wasn't going hard enough on the jihadists. So there's two problems happening in Burkina Faso, where the one is like the French occupation. And then the other thing is you have jihadists coming in from like Mali that are now displacing all these people in Burkina Faso. So they're coming through, like 2 million people have been displaced, thousands of people have been killed by this like militant Islamist regime trying to create like an Islamic state.
What's their name?
They're connected to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. They have like super specific like, sets. Like I don't know what the specific name is. But yeah, basically he's coming through and be like, yo, we're nationalizing the gold, we're kicking all the jihadists out, and we're gonna make Burkina Faso great again.
There's been like 2 assassination attempts on his life.
Oh yeah, so far, like that we know of. And they've tried to like coup him, so he got super popular recently in April because they tried to do a coup on him, and he was like, nah, fuck that. So now what happens internally is that you have people within like your own regime trying to take you out. So there's other people vying for power, like people that helped you get to your position now trying to take you out.
Yeah.
So now he's creating a system. I don't even understand how they're doing it. There's not even a ton of coverage on this. It's like hard to find. And he's basically like quelling internal coups and basically appointed himself as like the leader of the country.
Holy shit.
Kind of did away with like the democracy. He had a quote where he was like, democracy's never progressed a country. No country's ever developed under democracy. We need like a strong king to like rule the shit. And it seems like he's doing it. So the people of Burkina Faso are like pretty stoked on it. And now this like authoritarian kind of thing is like spreading through Africa, where people are like, we need this in every former colonist state, because all of Africa has been now like beholden to their colonial ancestors, or their parents rather.
I imagine in the near future, there will be no buying of the rights to your natural resources. There will only be partnering. Like I think recently in like Trinidad, there was this leader who sold all of because Trinidad has oil. So I think they like sold all the oil rights to the Chinese for like 100 years, or like leased it for 100 years. And like the way this thing happens is that they cut the deal so that specific person gets super rich, at the cost of the people. And this happens, I'm sure, all over the world. But I imagine like as, maybe one of the benefits of globalism is that there'll be these like international policy
like laws in place that will protect the colonial countries from doing this. But at the same time, these smaller countries do need the investment for infrastructure. So if you've got all this oil and you need to find a way to get it out, but everybody's living in poverty, you need investment. So it can operate in a similar way to, I'm trying to think, like... I
mean, UAE is, in my opinion, the best example of this.
Okay, give me.
So, like, their British mandate, the English control the whole area. And it's not even UAE, it's just all the separate emirates. And then they find oil in the 50s. And then Sheikh Zayed brokers a deal with the British and is like, hey, we're going to give you the oil. At first, they started just taking the raw oil, not refining it in the country, not helping the people, just getting all the oil out of there. And he goes, no, we're going to come together, unite all the emirates, and then nationalize the oil and refine it all here, and then partner with BP so you guys get rights. And then partner with the US, Exxon, all them, you guys get rights to the oil. And then that's where the petrodollar comes from. So like, hey, we're all going to trade our oil. We're going to give you guys good deals. We're going to partner with you guys, and we're down to play ball, but we're going to help our people first. And was diplomatic enough to make it work. Like, he didn't get ousted or, replaced.
Yeah. I mean, there's a way where it's actually cheaper for the colonial countries to do this, because they're like, hold on. So you'll organize it, stop all the warring factions, because if there's war in the country, we can't extract the oil. If we have to worry about jihadists blowing some shit up or a coup happening, it stops the oil from coming. So there's a certain amount of like money that you have to pay for protection for your goods. So it's probably cheaper to have a leader that will give you access, and then that leader goes, okay, how much are you paying to protect all this shit? Okay, well, you don't have to pay that anymore because I'm going to protect it, but I want that delta.
Yeah, but historically the cheapest thing was, let's just put our guy in who's going to give us everything.
Yes, and now it looks
we'll make him a millionaire. Yeah. And we'll just take everything.
But now the people are going, they're educated enough, and maybe the internet is available enough where people go, okay, this isn't fair, and we're getting fucked.
Yeah.
And there's other examples, I guess, in Africa or even the Middle East where like there's a different system that actually benefits the people.
Yeah. But then when you have situations like this happen, then they just take them out, like Gaddafi.
That is, yeah, I mean, that happens all around the world. But now maybe there's enough security where you don't get to do that. And it's also like there's a lot of shame that goes along with that. Like back in the day, you could take someone out and nobody really knows about it. Yeah. But like if it's making news and somebody gets killed, you have to go, well, who killed him? And then if it trickles back to France, imagine how we're going to look at Macron or the leadership over there that's basically okaying the murder of a not only the government official, but like the leading government entity in an independent country.
I would say yes and no, because a lot of people, it's over there, and we can just, it's like out of sight, out of mind.
And you just fund a sort of separate military group, and you give them some money, and you fund 5 of them, and then whichever one wins, you're like, oh great, we got our guy back.
But there's a cost too for that. It's like what the mafia bosses would always say. It's like when we're all at war, we're not making money.
Yeah,
brings way too much attention. Yeah, I think that the best. I really think that even for the colonial powers, it works better if you just take, maybe you're making 10% less, maybe you're making 30% less, but you don't have to worry about shit. And you get to act like you're this like benevolent partner. Like, wouldn't you rather the world see you as somebody who's like lifting up these African nations instead of this like diabolical, like, I don't want to say like terrorist, but like colonial state?
Which like they kind of do. So like some of the colonists are like, no, we have like aid programs. And we're giving you guys aid, and we're helping out.
But even that gets caught up by the people in charge if they're corrupt.
Exactly.
Right? So then the food actually reaches the people. There's that great example of, I think it's Botswana, if I'm not mistaken. But there's this leader who was just like, I mean, you could argue, maybe look it up right now, but like one of the greatest leaders in history. And he basically took this African nation from squalor to like the highest like GDP of any African nation, the highest levels of education. And he like slowly did it piece by piece. But first was, I think nobody actually had rights to their minerals. I think they had like diamonds. You can look at it, see if it's Botswana. I'm not exactly sure. I forget this guy's name. I should know his name. But like, great example of this. Like you can do it. You can pull your country out of extreme poverty, but you cannot do it without the natural resources.
Yeah.
Like the number one, like, because if without that, you just have nothing to pull from. What are you going to do? Tourism? Nobody wants to go there. People are getting shot. They think your country's full of AIDS. They think. No, but like, unfortunately, that is the perception, right? So people aren't going for like cute little vacations over there.
Right.
One of the reasons why we can go to the Caribbean and all this kind of stuff is because we're like, oh, it's safe.
Yeah. But Burkina Faso's in a tough spot because they're landlocked. So they require and rely on all their neighboring countries for like transportation.
Botswana too.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. So it's those are the ones that are most difficult because they're also easily invaded.
Yep. You're just so dependent on the people around you.
Can you check to see if it is that guy?
And then what's interesting is that a lot of the people in Burkina Faso now, Ibrahim is kind of like partnering with the Russians a little.
Oh boy.
Like trying to, get some infrastructure, trying to like cozy up with them because you kind of do need.
You need a daddy.
You need a little bit of a partner.
Yeah.
And so now Russia's like, hey, you've been screwed over by the French, the Americans, da da da. And the American diplomats are like, hey, this coup thing is crazy. And the Russians are kind of helping them out.
Yes. What is it?
Seretse Khama?
Yeah, Khama. And it was Khama's elected as first president. And then he was just like, there's a great YouTube video I watched on it. And like some of these guys do these like really in-depth historical accounts on YouTube, like really like well researched with imagery and all this stuff. But this guy Kama, I think he's no longer in power, and I think the guy who followed him, there isn't like tons of support. But I imagine he was in power for years. I think he had like a white wife too, and that was a little bit
snow bunnies, man.
Yeah, he got snow bunnied a little bit. I think he was educated in England, if I'm not mistaken.
I just hope we start seeing more of this happen in Africa and the countries just get their resources back, because there's so much wealth in Africa and it's just being fucking.
Well, that's why.
No, I know.
Yeah, but yeah, you get people partnering, and like the tricky thing is you kind of need these people to be educated outside of their country, because if they're educated within their country, they're probably part of the propaganda machine that's kept people at bay. So it's almost like you want them to go to the colonial powers so they can learn what happened to their country in the most effective way, and then like go to these like institutions like Oxford or Harvard or that kind of stuff, and like you'd like study business or geopolitics and you learn how trade actually works, and then you can start to broker these deals and build these relationships with the other countries. And especially right now where like everybody's terrified of the value of currency. Like I think gold is at like $3,000 a pound or some insane price. So right now is the perfect time to own your fucking gold rights.
Wow.
That's
fascinating.
Yeah, because that's the hedge against currency.
Yeah. And he's looking at the farmers too. He's like giving farmers free tractors. Like he's like, so far it seems like everyone likes him.
Yeah.
This is since 2022.
Yeah.
What he does with this sort of unchecked power, we shall see.
That's the thing. You need someone who's like truly benevolent.
Yeah.
Can you make sure that I was right about that Botswana guy? I don't want to get that wrong.
And then I think there's like a movement in South
if he's got a white
There's
wife.
a YouTube
It's like a
video
movement
called
in South
Seretse
Africa
Khama,
that
Life
they're
and
trying-
Legacy of Africa's Best President Ever.
So what was that?
That's the one.
It might be, but there's a few that have been done on it. But it's specifically like what he did. Like at a certain point, there was like invasions. He's like, okay, well, the first thing was after naturalizing, it was investing in education. He's like, because an educated populace is going to continue to innovate, and
his wife was white, it looks like.
Yeah. Like he had this like step to being a first world country or whatever it is, and like he fucking knocked it out of the park. You know, but naturally having the resources was amazing. I think at one point Botswana was like part of Zimbabwe or something like that. But like he had to worry about invasions. He's like, okay, now we have to invest in military. Like he just went through the process and he had enough support from the people. And it's possible.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point. Is like it is possible.
Just gotta be immune to that corruption, though.
And that's hard.
You
bro.
get a seat at the table, and they're like, "Bro,
Yeah, no, that's rough.
let's just give you everything you've ever wanted." Like he grew up in a town of 2,000 people in the middle of Burkina Faso, one of the most poor countries ever. And now people are going to him, being like, "Yo, let's do a deal. Let's work this out. You'll be a millionaire, billionaire." And you got to be able to be like, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna help my people."
I mean, what if you're that guy? What you got something, Joey?
Oh, that's right. What you were saying.
So, like, what if there's I think about this all the time with Bukele. I would love to have the El Salvadorian president on it, because it's like.
Did you see I think it's him, but he just got caught selling a bunch of coke.
Bukele?
I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah, I would look that up.
Yeah, look it up. So it's like
Before I congratulate him.
he owns some coffee business in Miami, and it was a huge bust of like $30 million worth of cocaine that was supposed to be shipped to Germany. Like these motherfuckers are crazy. But check that, just double check, but I'm pretty sure that was, and it's like Western media isn't covering it, only like Latin American news is covering it, and they're trying to keep it like super hush hush.
And
So he's doing what the CIA did to his country here. Nice.
Yeah.
That's that get back.
Yeah.
Like, or what we did in Afghanistan, where we took all the heroin fields.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't sell it in your own country. But if Canada can sell asbestos to Thailand, then why can't El Salvador sell coke to some other countries? Like, it's what we tell people all the time. Like, the issue is taking advantage of your own people so that you can get rich. fucking over other people, we seem to look the other way. America's done it. A bunch of other countries have done it. It seems like that's how you become a superpower in a way.
Yeah.
Whether it's through colonization or through selling, narcotics. But like, there's a market for this shit. The problem is when it just completely erodes the fabric of your society.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. I'm about to show you the most patriotic way to stay alert, stay energetic, and stay free. It's Black Rifle Energy. Yes, they have the coffee. Obviously, we've been running on the coffee, okay? We've been running on the coffee for years, keeping us up, making sure we vote, making sure we stay free, okay? Storming the Capitol, I can't say that everybody was on it or they weren't. I'm not legally allowed to say that. My prediction is that just because it is so prolific, it was probably around. It did not cause that at all. I'm sure during the Civil War, you know what? Black Rifle coffee would be used by the North, okay? By the North, all right? Maybe...
that's why they won.
Yeah, I would think. But maybe there was times where the South maybe got a storage unit or something that the North had. Maybe they used it for a little bit, put up a good fight, but ultimately the North had it, and that's why they were so prolific. Revolutionary War, 100%. Threw that fucking tea into the water, slurped down a Black Rifle coffee, got the French to help us out. The French were drinking espresso. We're like, listen, queers, why don't you take a Black Rifle energy drink or some coffee and let's win this war in a day or two. Done. That's what happened. Thank you very much. I need a little bit more on that. That was worse. It sounds like you use a Black Rifle energy. That's what it sounds like. The point that I'm trying to make is blackriflecoffee.com. Use that promo code FLAGRANT. You're getting 30% off today, and you're saving American energy. A lot of people think American energy comes from shale. No. Okay, if it comes from the oil pipelines in Alaska. No, American energy comes from a cup of Black Rifle coffee, okay? Probably nothing to do with that gun, but after a sip of it, you're going to want to hit that border and pick off anything that's trying. No? Okay, don't do that. Definitely don't do that. So
we love beans.
We love
BlackRifleCoffee.com.
Yes. Use the promo code FLAGRANT for 30% off today. And America, your energy. All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Obviously, Magic Spoon from the cereal probably changed your fucking life. High protein, zero sugar cereal treats reinvented your childhood. That's right, it's got the nostalgia. Give you that kick in the morning. Give it to your children so they're healthy. Unlike us, Magic Spoon is going to have that high protein cereal. They got the treats. They also got granola. They're true to the Magic Spoon promise. Magic Spoon's high protein treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. They come in mouth-watering flavors. They got marshmallow, chocolate, peanut butter, dark chocolate, granola, Magic Spoons, brand new granola packs, 13 grams of protein, 0 added sugars. They come in delicious flavors like dark chocolate, almond, honey, almond butter. I'm telling you guys, get the treats on the go. Okay, and you know what? You're gonna get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/flagrant, or look at Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/flagrant for $5 off. Now let's get back to the show.
I'm pretty sure that is the bust, but apparently it was supposed to be in a shipment with this coffee that he partially owns.
Well, we should put an allegedly right there.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
The point that I'm trying to make, and I'm not trying to cap for him, but it's like, I wonder if on some level, let's remove this because I don't know what the truth is here. Okay, you've taken your country from the most dangerous country in the Western Hemisphere to the safest. Okay? You have like 85% approval from your people. Okay? We'll look into it 1 second. But leave that up. You have, I imagine it's a democracy, so there are term limits, maybe. Let's say there are. You know the next people that are going for election. You know them. You know them well. What if you see them and you're like, yo, they can't do it? Like, this guy's kind of corrupt. I've been like looking the other way about it, but I know he's easily influenced. This guy's a fucking idiot, but the people like him, but they don't realize that he just doesn't have what it takes to do this shit. I understand the impulse to tyranny, even if it's benevolent. Now, I'm sure there's bad people that look at that same situation and they just go, I just want to keep my power. These people can't do it, but you just want to keep your power. But is there ever a situation where you're like, I'm good. I don't think these guys can fucking do it. Do I let it go because that is what upholds democracy? Or do I create a tyrannical state because that's what upholds the society that is benefiting everyone? I guess what I'm trying to say is like, there is a little bit more nuance to the need for power. And it is possible that there are certain people who are like, I don't even want to do this shit, but it's going to fall apart if this guy gets in power because I know him. I've seen him be corrupted already.
Well, everyone likes a good king. You know what I mean? Like, if you've got a good king that's running shit well and everyone's cool, like, most people are down with that. They trust him. Like the wise king, you know what I mean?
I mean, Saddam ran into that issue with his fucking lunatic son, Uday.
Oh, yeah.
You know Uday?
No.
He was like an absolute fucking just evil motherfucker.
I thought that he would have got him right there.
I didn't say who.
I know.
I said no. I don't know.
No, Uday was his actual son, and he was like an absolute fucking lunatic. He tortured people, abused people, threw like crazy parties, would make people. He was like actually Game of Thrones king
Joffrey,
a Joffrey type shit.
Yeah,
and Saddam would try to reel him in and would burn his cars. Like, he owned a bunch of nice cars, and he burned his cars one time to like threaten him. He put him in jail for like a night. But like Saddam couldn't really reel him in, but also
I'm gonna count to 3, Uday. If you keep torturing.
But Saddam would also then name other people his successor, and it would piss Uday off even more. He had his like crazy shit happen.
Yeah.
When you know there's no repercussions to your actions, you're gonna act out.
And he was just he tortured the Olympic team.
Yeah, he's like one of the most brutal dudes ever. Like the stuff he did, it was insane. There's whole documentaries on like his atrocities where it's just like pulling people off the street, fucking murdering them.
Also, like, where does he learn that shit? You don't learn that shit from the movies. Like, you're seeing that within your family dynamic, or at least you're seeing your dad use power in that way, and you think it's okay.
Got his uncle shot. He did some wild stuff.
Or you can just step it up. Like, you can be, you know?
Yeah, maybe, but maybe there's a version where he feels like stepping it up is, you know, currying favor with his father.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that like Saddam is this like fucking. I guess my point is he's not this like great guy. But his son is even worse. But I've seen kids like this on much like lower levels where it's just like you got this like rich kid. You guys probably grew up with them, and where like they never really get in trouble for anything. They get. You went to private school. Shut up.
No, I didn't.
You went to private school.
No, I didn't.
It was private.
Your BARD was you had to take a test to get in, but there was no payment for it.
I thought BARD was private.
No, it's public.
Not public.
I mean, you have to test to get into the school, but outside of that, there's no payment for it. Swear to God. Come on, son, I'm just smart.
But the tricky thing now with Ibrahim is that all these other countries want authoritarian leaders. Like, there's like a push towards authoritarianism because he's been so great so far. That now are you going to have other countries in the region being like, where's our Ibrahim? And then are you going to get bad actors that are like, I'll do it?
I actually think he's right, though. I don't think democracy is the quickest way to progress. Like, democracy led us to civil war. Let's not...
Maybe not the quickest. In fairness, he said no democracy has led to prosperity or something like that.
Oh, well, that's bullshit.
He has a quote about democracy.
The quickest way is what Singapore did.
Yeah.
Like, 50 years, you go from a jungle to a first world country.
Yeah.
Like, the quickest way is you have, like, a party in charge, and you hope to God they're benevolent, and then you ride that shit till the wheels fall off, and then maybe then, once a culture is set, you could start to create some form of democracy. But I have a hard time believing that, like, you just go, oh yeah, we'll all vote, and everything will be perfect. It's like, you haven't even established what the culture is, what you guys need, what the identity is.
No, you need, like, educated populace, you need people that have access to info, all that
stuff. It's people are so easily manipulated, especially now with the internet. You're going to just let democracy happen in Burkina Faso?
Yeah.
You just hand out cell phones to these people in the middle in the middle of wherever the fuck they're living, and like, you're gonna see some shit get riled up. No
country is developed under democracy.
I also don't think that people give a fuck about democracy anymore. Like, I think that was like no, like, I mean, that's funny with us, but no, I mean, like you know how like we used to feel like it was our job to spread democracy.
Oh yes.
Like, I don't think Americans care about spreading that shit. Like, we just want people that agree with our way of living. So if you got a dictator that agrees with it, bet. If you got a prime minister, bet.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Even like Vietnam time, how they convinced people that communism was like an existential threat.
I do think that is true.
But like, how did they get people to be like, yo, we got to stop it?
Well, I got to look more into this like McCarthy shit, or like the McCarthyism. Yeah, I got to look into those hearings because he might have been right about that shit. Like, because I think that there is. Like, I think communism is very seductive, right? Especially when it's not applied. When it's not applied, it looks like the best thing ever. Like, we have to support people. We have to help poor people have a part of the industries in which they work, so they're not just cogs in the machine. Like, and if you have a populace, especially at a time like now, which just feels like jobs are hard to get and they're slowly like being more and more taken advantage of by the wealthy, introducing an idea like communism, call it something else, Americans would be like really into it. They'd be like, this sounds great.
Yeah, if done right, it's actually a great thing.
Exactly.
It's
but
just never done right.
But like the fact that it sounds like a great thing can easily sway an uneducated populace or even an educated one. Matter of fact, sometimes education is even better, right? Because you'll see like what the true benefits of these things are. So I understand Americans at that time going, shit, this is spreading because all these poor people around the world really want some equity in the industries that they're, you know, building up. If that continues to spread, it could easily spread over here because why wouldn't every American want that? But that could potentially could kill American prosperity if it's not done right. Yeah. So I get like it as an existential threat. Us being over there in Vietnam, I don't know why we think like if Vietnam falls, then Kansas City does. But I do get the idea that like, this shit is kind of catching steam. And then I furthermore get why the rich people in America would really not want that. So it's
that's the threat.
It's almost like double incentivized.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the rich people who are like, we definitely don't want this, is going to fuck our business up. And then like the permanent government people going, yeah, it hasn't really worked in any of these other places, but it's really seductive. All right, we're in cahoots on this one. Where there might be things that the rich people really like, but the American government is like, nah, you got monopolistic practices. We need to break that shit up because it's actually going to fuck people over. And the rich people are like, no, that's what we do. We fuck people over. And like, yeah, you're not going to do it now.
Yeah.
So when rich people and government are aligned, you're fucked. Right? When rich people and government are not aligned, there's a battle.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Play that other video.
Wait, which one?
The one with about the drugs?
Cocaine?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? So pretty much Bukele owns a coffee brand called Beans of Fire, which is based in Miami, and they just got caught with $31 million worth of snow powder. You know what I'm talking about? $31 million in their shipment to Belgium. So the president Bukele personally owns a coffee brand that's based in Miami that's caught shipping drugs to Belgium. But for some reason, nobody's talking about it except Hispanic news sources. So Bukele responded at saying that somebody's trying to smear him. So let me get this straight. Somebody put $31 million worth of snow powder in a shipment just to smear a dictator wannabe. And why does he own a coffee company based in Miami? This is what I told you guys. This is what Duarte did in the Philippines. Pretty much, they took out the competition in El Salvador. He took out his drug rivals in El Salvador, and they are becoming the main providers of drugs, the main sellers, the main cartel. And that's why he's best friends with Donald Trump. So our tax dollars are going to a drug dealer in El Salvador.
Low key, I'm not against this. It's fucked up.
Oh, go on it.
It's fucked up, but the world is fucked up.
Okay.
So like when asbestos was banned in Canada, they were still selling it to like Vietnam or Thailand or some shit like that. Like they already recognized that asbestos was causing cancer. So they banned it in their own country, but they were still shipping it out to third world countries where they would eventually go get cancer. And I don't know if it was as direct as asbestos. Maybe asbestos was in like the drywall or whatever the fuck they were sending. But like they knew that there was something that was banned in their country that they were sending it out to the world. I think this shit probably happens a lot. I think that there's probably chemicals that we create here that we're like, this isn't good for our food, but we'll send it out to other countries.
But why are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it. I'm not saying it's good, but what I'm saying is I don't know if this is dissimilar to practices that we and other like righteous first world countries do. So therefore,
I get it, but I'm still against it. I would say, hey,
of course, don't do it.
Yeah.
The right thing is to say don't do it, but the other thing is to be like, okay, we have all these fields, we've seized the fields, we have all this cocaine, we can find ways to sell it, we can profit off it. Whether we continue to do it or not is, I guess, up to us as a country. Yeah. They get to decide whether cocaine is illegal to sell for people or for the government in their country. Canada decided that it was illegal, but they still were producing it and selling it. So it's your product. If other countries want it, they can find a way to get there. Like, and listen, it's fucked up. What to me is most important is that you're prioritizing your own people. So if you're uplifting your own people through what we would deem as like nefarious acts, yeah, maybe it's like a little bit, maybe it's bad, maybe a lot of bad, but it is less bad than selling those drugs to your own people.
Okay.
Is it possible that there's a cartel that's like, yo, we're going to ship this stuff. We own the shipping and we're going to throw our own product in there and then it'll get sorted out when it lands?
I also don't. I not only do I think that's possible, I also think it's possible that there is somebody trying to smear him.
Perhaps.
Like, I think it's very possible you have someone with that much power, that much support, and he's saying certain things that are disrupting. I won't say disrupting governments.
$30 million to smear a person. Like,
but again, these cartels make crazy money. Like $31 million, it's almost tricky because it's like it is a lot of money objectively, of course. But like if you're a cartel with hundreds of millions, billions, it's like, oh, we can use this for political leverage, or yo, we're just gonna throw this in our shipment, and maybe that's the only one that got caught. You know what I mean? Like, there might have been two others that went through.
The cartels, didn't he take out all the criminals? Like, aren't they? They're supposed to be all locked up right now.
That's what I'm saying. It's
so
like,
if this shit is still happening, then,
so then does the government
doing the job, or you know what's gonna happen,
or does the government take it over and then it's like a national resource? And
that's what seems more likely.
Look,
and I'm like,
if America was trading the fucking heroin in Afghanistan, which I don't know, I don't have like factual evidence that we did that. I think at some point in time we did take over like the poppy production, which eventually becomes the heroin. Like, and if that was part of the GDP of Afghanistan and they recognize it and they're like, well, we can either give them the money or we can fucking sell this shit. Are we really going to shit on El Salvador for doing it? I guess to me, what's most important is if you're trying to uplift a country from poverty, destitute poverty and violence, like there's probably going to be, you're going to crack some eggs on the way.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Greater good is
how are the people doing?
Yeah.
Now, the costs of how those people doing are how people in Belgium are snorting coke. Yeah. I'm like, boo-hoo. If he's selling asbestos to third world countries so his people can be okay, it's like, okay, you're fucking over more poor people so that your poor people can get rich. I'm not saying it's okay to fuck over rich people, but like I imagine in Belgium, you have a choice whether or not you're going to buy fucking cocaine and snort it when you go out drinking.
Yeah. And then gatekeeping a different country doing the shit that a bunch of first world countries do.
Wait, what is that? What does that
like,
mean?
If a bunch of first world countries do a bunch of fuck shit to get rich, and then other countries try to do it,
And then-
whoa, you guys can't
Son,
do
we did that shit, like low-key, I kind of feel like we did that shit with the Industrial Revolution. It's like we were polluting the whole fucking world. Became an industrial superpower. Then the rest of these countries try to do it. We're like, we have to worry about the environment.
Like China, what are you doing? Smog.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make some pro-China argument, but it's like, what do you think our skies look like from 1800s to 1960?
But it is kind of smart, though.
That 100%.
It is kind of smart if you're like, if you're running it. If you're America, being like, yeah, you guys can't do what we did.
This is what I'm saying. Like, like the expectations for your country are different for the expectations for the world, and I'm kind of okay with that shit. And if we can use these different levers to apply leverage so it's more beneficial to us, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, we don't live in this utopia where every country just wants every other country to do well. This shit is a race.
Yeah.
So we got to treat it like a race.
I wouldn't say I'm okay, but I do recognize the game.
Maybe okay isn't the right word, but
I recognize game. I'm like, yeah.
This is the game, and we have to play it within the confines of our ethics.
Yeah.
And the ethics within our country are different, and we acknowledge this, than outside of our country. And we got allies, and then the ethics with our allies are like a little bit closer to us. Like, so how we treat Great Britain is going to be a little different than how we treat some third world country.
Yeah.
And what we're willing to do.
And I'm not pearl clutching. Like, oh, these guys are the mafia. I'm like, everyone's the mafia.
Everyone's the mafia.
Okay. I hate when we get too far into Trump's, but this stuff is like, I feel he's moving in a way that it's just like so in your face. Before, it's like rich people just paid behind the scenes. You didn't really know who was doing the shit. But
now you think it's blatant.
Yeah.
Like, what are the examples of that? I'm not saying you're wrong, but like
the crypto coin thing. Like, where it's like,
what do you do?
So now it's the top 50 holders get a meeting with Trump.
Wow.
That's just paying for access.
So he's essentially selling access.
Yeah.
Now, I guess
shit is a little crazy.
So I agree with what you're saying, which is like, what you're doing is you are pulling away the curtain.
Yeah.
And like,
and I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, the thing is that we like curtains. We like curtains. Curtains help everybody. They keep your private shit private and my private shit private. And what we do behind those curtains, nobody really knows about. And if people don't know about it, we can pretend it's not happening. And the reality is the rich people always paid for access. Goldman Sachs did it with Obama. Other company did it with Trump. Some other company did it with Kamala. Like, all these countries are paying for access. There's a reason why all those billionaire corporations were lined up behind Trump during the inauguration. And they gave him the $1 million each. Like, they paid for access. But what he's saying is, hey, guys, we do pay for access here. And I think the American people are like, why don't you just lie to us and do it like y'all did before? We don't want to think that that's how things work. So I know it seems like I'm probably defending him. I'm not. I agree. I like to think that there is no access paid for. The problem is that I wonder if I wonder if his administration specifically, since he was one of those people that paid for access, I wonder if he's like, doesn't everybody know this is how it works? Like, now we're just letting people pay for access.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I asked the question. Is like no judgment. I was like, I don't even know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But it's just like, it's just so different than how things have always been done.
You know what
and
it
I'm
is?
like, whoa.
It's like when you're at one of these fancy events and like, you know, somebody's eating their food the way you would just eat your fucking food. Like, if I got a chicken tender, I'm eating with my fingers. And all these other fancy people are like, why do we eat this with a fork and knife? It's like, you're only doing that because everybody else here would look at you funny. But when we're all home alone, we eat it with our fingers. Now, I don't know if I don't think that that's a good justification, by the way. I think that there should be no pay for access. I don't think it should be transparent, or I don't think it should be
behind the face.
Yeah, either way. So I get that reaction you have. You're like, what the fuck is happening over here? And I guess I just wonder if they're going, yeah, this is how it is. We're just telling you.
Probably.
Well, that's kind of the accelerationist thing, where it's like, there's people that don't like Trump that are like, it's good what he's doing because he's airing it all out. And then hopefully people will see how corrupt everything is, and then we can fix it. But let him air it all out. Let him do all these things where they expose how corrupt everything is. And what he's doing is wrong, but the next thing will be better because we can stop it.
Oh, got it. So Trump is not airing it out in a way to expose other people. He's even exposing himself.
Is what they would say.
But through exposing himself, he is exposing the system that does exist just behind closed doors. And once we're all privy to the system that does exist,
then we could change it.
Because that's what I feel like his administration does all the time. The second they do something with immigrants, they just go, oh, look how many immigrants. But I think Obama was like, Obama's wife, Michelle, was like, I was crying when I saw the deportations. And then they were like, your husband deported 4 million more people than he did, right? Like, and I think that's what the Republicans get a lot of wins on, is that the Democrats kind of virtue signal without reflecting on like what they've done. And then the Republicans come in and dunk. So what Mark is saying is like the next 10 years or whatever it is could be a reflection on what both parties have done, either out in the open or behind closed doors. And then we as Americans get to go, yeah, we don't like any of that. That's ugly. You would hope we do
either
that.
fix it or put up some more curtains.
Yeah. Or I don't know, maybe I'm curious what you think. Like, do we just take all the curtains away and just kind of be honest with who we are?
Yeah, I don't know if you can have a society function that way though.
Probably not.
I have no idea. I don't know if any country's really done that, where like all the curtains are off. Actually, this is the Vietnam thing. I'm watching that documentary on Netflix right now.
I want to hear about that rat thing too.
Oh my god, that shit is fire.
Did you get into that? Did you do the episode on it already?
Yeah.
Or okay.
But we can talk about it.
Does it conflict if we talk about it here?
No, not at all. But the Vietnam thing, like they made an interesting point in the doc where they're like, that is the moment where America, all like the curtains started to tear. Like that was the moment.
Because right after World War II, I imagine like we are heroic, virtuous, benevolent, kind, caring. Our Americans died for other people to live, and there's nothing more beautiful than that.
And then
sacrifice.
through the 50s, you got some Pacific theater stuff, but it's like, oh, they're just patching up World War II. No one even really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And then Vietnam is the first moment where it's like, yes, we're gonna do it again. We're going back out. And then they get out there and they're like, what are we doing? Why are we here? Like, what is the point of all this?
Yeah.
And then you start to see like the tears come in, like all the conspiracy stuff comes in around that time, like JFK, obviously, the Gulf of Tonkin stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what is America actually?
Yes.
And is it good or bad? I don't know. You get like a rise in conspiratorial thinking.
I imagine
good or bad. I don't know.
I imagine like upon learning these things, like during that time, I imagine upon like once you see tears in that fabric, there's an extreme pendulum swing where everything becomes conspiracy, which is not dissimilar to kind of what's happening now, which is like, whoa, we've seen some fabric tears like big time. And then the conspiracy shit went crazy. And the craziest version is flat earth, like, but the fact that we could believe everything is a conspiracy. Like Bukele said, they're smearing me, and my knee-jerk reaction was like that could happen. Like things have happened like that.
Yeah.
Or he could just be selling the like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Vietnam era disillusion.
Yeah.
Have we ever recovered from that?
I don't know. I mean, no. Like, I think the cracks are still there, but as long as everything's fine, you don't really notice.
Yeah, you only notice the cracks when the economy.
I think we would have after 9/11 if they didn't expose the weapons of mass destruction stuff.
If we just went on believing it.
Yeah.
The fact that there was this self-reflection going, hey, there were no weapons of mass destruction. What we did was fucked up, and a bunch of these military companies got rich.
Because I never saw the country together as one after 9/11. Everybody was like, American flags, pro-America, everything. Everybody.
I'm so diabolical. Now there's like a part of me that's even thinking like the real puppet masters, like when there's no actual bad guy for us to fight out there that's like threatening, do we create internal bad guys and then rebuke them as a country? Now we're united again. Then a new internal bad guy. Rebuke, united. So it's like weapons of mass destruction. That's bullshit. We're all coming down and we got that bad guy out of here. And now we're heroes of our own story without needing a Hitler or without needing a Mussolini or without needing a Stalin. Was Stalin? Weren't we kind of aligned though with Stalin?
I mean, in World War II, but then the second the war ended.
And no.
Yeah, he was the threat of communism.
Yeah.
But I wonder if you're like doing like next level, what is that? Like country craft?
Yeah, statecraft.
Statecraft.
Yeah, dude.
Ugh. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But that's probably the conversations they have. They're like, yeah, we got 350 million people. How do we get these people to just chill the fuck out?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then kind of like the movie studio thing, you probably have real people that have like real honest opinions that we need to do this. And then you have the people at the top maybe that are like, yeah, we just need to keep the money coming in, keep everything moving economically. And then they kind of team up, push an ideology, and they're like, yeah, we can become number one with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, tell me the rat thing.
Here's the shortest version.
Yeah.
Universe 25. You ever heard of this?
No.
There's an experiment that this guy did in the United States, the guy John Calhoun. And he was a researcher at the National Institute of Health. And basically he was doing these rat experiments where he was trying to see basically the effects of urbanization. So like post-World War II, you have these cities propping up all over the country. They're like expanding. You got New York, Chicago, LA. They're becoming these massive hubs where people are living in these small, tiny little apartments. And basically he was doing these rat experiments to see if you had all your resources met, you had food, you had housing, all that stuff, just by overpopulation, would it lead to social decay? And so he creates this,
real quick, because I think it's really important. There's enough food.
Yep.
There's enough shelter. Okay, so you are met with everything you need, or we thought that you needed to thrive.
Okay.
Yeah. So he creates what he calls the rat utopia, or the mouse utopia, where it's 10 square feet, and they have all the food possible. They have all these compartments. It has a holding capacity of 3,000 mice. Okay. He drops 8 of them in there with like robust DNA that they can procreate effectively. And for 100 days, they just start, banging. Just mouse sex everywhere. They have a bunch of kids. And then slowly things start to decline. So around like 2 years in, it's like a 600-day, or it's like a 5-year experiment.
They're all helping each other. They're living great. There's everybody's happy.
And everyone's cooperating. So like the mothers take care of the kids. Yeah. The males are like protecting their families, And then at a certain point, out of like 1,000 rats or 1,000 mice, it starts to fall apart, where now there's conflict. And around like these high traffic zones. So like whenever the mice are coming into contact to each other, they're like hyper aggressive. And then the female mice are not protecting their young. And then they start getting into cannibalism. And the mice are actually eating each other.
When they don't have to. There's enough food.
There's enough food.
Oh, even when the population grew, they just kept the food at a level where everybody... Oh,
There's enough food for every mouse. So every time a new mouse is born, they inject more food, more food. So everyone has enough food.
But they're still fighting.
And they're still fighting. And then they're creating...
Tribalizing, right?
Yeah. And like they have all their different compartments. They can all spread out.
Yeah.
And then at these food centers, if they're these like high traffic zones, they start to get aggressive. And then it goes even further. Once they get to like 2,000, the birth rate starts to drop. They stop procreating. Mothers stop protecting their kids. At certain parts of it, there's a 90% mortality rate of young because mothers are not protecting their kids. And so then you have hyperaggression from the males, lack of maternalism from the females. And then the most interesting part is that you get some of the mice that become socially detached. So he calls it in the experiment the beautiful ones. And there's an interesting parallel with Japan. So the beautiful ones in the experiment are these mice that basically just checked out. They had food, they would go in their little compartments, and they would just groom themselves like neurotically. And they were pristine. They were like the most beautiful mice of the whole thing. Some of them were like, chewed up and eaten up in battles and stuff. These ones were just fully detached. They were like, they had nothing to do with the society. Now there's a thing happening in Japan right now, the Hokimori, if you can look it up. And basically it's a group of people in Japan that have kind of like dubbed themselves these like detached people of society that don't really participate. They get like some assistance from the government and they just kind of like live in their houses and they don't really go out and they're completely isolated from any type of community. And as a result, the hikikomori.
Yeah, hikikomori.
And they just leave in extreme isolation. And people have pointed to this, be like, this is basically the beautiful ones of the experiment. They just kind of detach fully from society.
But I would also imagine that the birth rate decline mirrors the decline of birth rates in urban centers.
Right. What people have said.
Yeah. The violence. It's like, it's not like, and again, I can't speak for everyone in New York, but it's not like people, like I see fat homeless people here, like there's food here. There's food centers. It's not like there's starvation happening. Yes, there are people that are worried about their next meal, but it's different than in third world countries. Yeah. Let's put it that way. And there is access to resources if you need it here.
Yes.
So, but you still see this like reduction in birth rate. You still see the tribalism. You still see like hyper-aggression. And it's funny that like, it's not about resources. It could be simply about proximity and how humans interact with one another. When there's too many of us in too small space, we're not just fighting over fucking gold or water or food. It's simply, we're not supposed to be around each other like this. It could literally be that.
Yeah. And so the eventual conclusion of the experiment, it didn't even get to the holding capacity. It got to like 2,300, 2,400. And then the numbers started going down. They stopped reproducing until eventually the whole society just fell out. They call it behavioral sink. Behavioral sink is just the whole thing basically just like crashed down. And the interesting part is they took some of the mice out and put them into normal enclosures. And even the mice that they took out never adapted to the new enclosures. They continue to have aggressive tendencies or non-maternalistic tendencies. And so they still had the maladaptive behavior from the original experiment. And then the kids of the mice with maladaptive behaviors continued to have hyperaggressive tendencies. And so there was like an epigenetic problem within the mice where they could prolong the effects.
This is actually something we should talk to Atia about with the epigenetic effects, like where you could potentially pass on trauma. This is really interesting. Women are born with all the eggs that they'll have throughout their menstrual cycles. Therefore, they're less susceptible to epigenetic factors, meaning like whatever's happening in your environment and how it influences you, what you pass on. Since they're born with all the eggs that they'll have, it's harder to transform those eggs and then pass on those genetic differences. What essentially is happening is all of evolution is happening through sperm. So the things that happen to the male, remember, we reproduce sperm every 5 days or whatever it is. You bust a few loads and then you continue having. So the things that are happening in your life, that are impacting your life, the food that you're eating, the environments you're in, the things you're experiencing, you could say it is passed through to your young through the male, because that sperm can be manipulated by the microplastics or all these other things that are happening in the world. Kind of interesting that like evolution is dependent on the man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
it is happening to women just at a much slower rate.
I'm not saying that these things aren't affecting them. They 100% are, but they're not changing the eggs in real time. Whereas like the sperm can be changed like month by month.
Generation gets to change.
It's just kind of a crazy thing.
Like,
and I don't know if this works, but like you go into war and coming back and carrying that trauma, I don't know how that affects your sperm. I don't know. But if there is some sort of societal or environmental effect on your sperm and it could impact it, like, is there a point where you go, I think you got to hold off 5 years so you can work through this stuff that's in your body? Like you were exposed to this thing at war. It could be Agent Orange or whatever like that. That's going to be in your sperm. Or you were addicted to heroin for X amount of years. Like you need to flush whatever you got out before that same thing gets passed on. I don't know if the research has been done to that level, but it's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah, I've even read some stuff with like epigenetics. Again, this might be pseudoscience, but like
epigenetics is environment, right? It's just like
epigenetics, as I understood it, is like basically passing on genes and having traits in your young that are environmental from the parents.
Right.
So it's basically like if the parents experience something, it's possible to genetically pass
That's
it on.
just what I want to clarify. Yeah.
But like through like emotional shit or like high stress environments or like high anxiety parents, having children in high anxiety times could create high anxiety children, even if they're no longer anxious or raised in a non-anxious environment. I don't know necessarily what the data is on the current science, but I've heard these things.
This is the cool shit to learn about, though.
Yeah, we should talk to T about it.
Yeah. Just one thing on the rat experiment. I feel like people in condensed areas tend to be a bit more open-minded and liberal towards other people because of the close confines.
100%.
So isn't that like going against what happened in the experiment in terms
So
of the
critics of the experiment would be like a few things. One, humans aren't mice. That's the obvious one. Like they don't have the consciousness or like the ability to like discern threat or not. They're just kind of acting on it.
Probably have lower capacity to change intellectualized situations.
And then additionally, people said that this is not a utopia. He called it a rat utopia. They're like, there's high density channels where people are bumping into each other. There's intentional conflict on these frequency corridors where one, if you can build an urban design well enough, you can decrease that. And two, in the wild, mice, when they're experiencing a threat, are going to run. They're not going to fight.
And if you have no place to run.
Exactly. They're fighting because they're in an enclosure.
Gotcha. That's a good, that's
and so
a very
like you can
point.
leave a city, you know, like you can run away from a conflict, things like that.
To wrap this up,
so it's like a jail.
Exactly.
More so.
Nicely ran jail.
But as a result, policymakers have taken the experiment and applied it to like theme park design, jails, all that kind of stuff.
Smart.
Where they're like, okay, in the experiment, there's only 4 zones where like they can get food, something like that. And now they're like, disperse it, put it all over. So like now theme parks will have food, like tiny little like 50-person stands all over rather than one giant spot where everyone can get food because they're trying to lower contact. And
I would also say like another criticism of the experiment and why you can't exactly compare it to the urban centers in America is that like, and maybe this is why the urban centers continue to thrive, is because people move here. If it was just us, it would fall apart. I genuinely believe that. And I think a lot of us end up moving out. Like a lot of my friends that grew up in New York, like have just moved. They went to the suburbs. They don't go too far, but they get out of it. They get out of the rat race. And like, even like, you know, I mean, your sister went to Philly.
Yeah, but ever since she was young, she never liked being around people. Like she was a suburban person.
Right. I mean, you guys grew up in a beach community, so there is I get that. I guess she's probably searching for that. But in all seriousness, I think that what allows these urban centers to continue this inorganic way of living is this influx of new people hopping on to the American dream. And I don't know if it was just us. Like I think about this a lot. Like we're used to it and we're accustomed to it, but it is unnatural.
Well, then you look at Japan, you're like, okay, very low immigration, very low emigration.
And what's happening?
And now are you experiencing societal collapse? Are they having the super low birth rate? Are they having this social detachment?
And they are, right?
That's what people would say. Yeah. And what is the eventual fallout of that? What is the conclusion of that? According to these experiments, not great.
Yeah, just send some Mexicans, man.
Yeah, we love y'all. We appreciate you, man. And we're going to see you next week. Peace.